Yo, yo, yo. It's the Iggitty Biggitty Bossy Boss-0-Leeny. Cooking with what? Gas-0-Leeny Fire Content. How you guys doing tonight? Hold on for the one time. Boop. How you guys doing? It's Big Bossy-Leeny back cooking with Gas-0-Leeny. Oh man, it's almost Christmas. It's almost Christmas on the East Coast. Right here on the West Coast, we got like a few more hours. But shit, I know it's a little after 11 o'clock p.m. on the East Coast. Almost midnight, and you guys on the East Coast will bring in Christmas first. That's what's up. Yo, so Bossy Boss is back at it. Back at it again. Y'all must have forgot. Oh, man. You know Bossy Boss ain't went nowhere, man. Bossy Boss ain't went nowhere. Just lurking in the cut. You know what I'm saying? Waiting for the time to strike. Like it says here, almost over this 2024. Big Boss Real Talk. This 2024 went real fast, man. Golly. You know, I say that about every year, right? The last few years, I've been saying it about every year. And I guess I say it about the next year. But I specifically remember the very end of 2024, rather, when Cat Williams went on the Club Shay Shannon show. And he was talking all that shit. And, well, that was premiered like right around New Year's. Shannon had said it was filmed like right December 31st, December 30th on New Year's Eve. And he premiered it on New Year's. But still, that's like almost a year ago. And I remember that like it was only a few months. I remember that Cat Williams on Club Shay like it was only a few months. But it's recorded in the last couple of days of 2024. And that's when Cat said, well, 2023 rather, my bad, 2023. It was recorded in the last few days of 2023. And Cat said, watch, in 2024, everything about to come out. It don't matter who you is, Diddy, whatever. And here we are. This whole year flew by. So I'm here to say 2025 is going to go even faster. Oh, man. That being said, you know what I'm saying? We only got one life to live. YOLO. And after that, we in the ground, dead. So in the meantime, in between time, you know, it's very important for us to live our life, live our best life for ourselves. Don't worry about the haters. Do what we do. We catch flights. We go to different spots and whatnot because time flies. This year, 2024, I didn't really come on here to do that one, to make a list of all like the famous people, you know, celebrities we have lost. Obviously, people die all the time, right? People die every day, B. But, you know, the notable people that we lost in 2024. And close to my heart, Ricky Henderson from the Oakland A's, he just passed just the other day. So he didn't quite make it out of 2024. And then we lost the voice of the Lion King, Mufasa. And we lost a lot of people. We lost a lot of people in 2024. And obviously, we're going to lose more in 2025. Everybody gets up in age, right? There's all kind of issues why people pass away. Health issues, people getting old in age, accidents and all the shit. So, again, we only have one life. And we still have a few more days. Still, what, about a week? We got almost a week left in 24. So I will go to, obviously, right? There are some people alive today, right now, that won't be alive in 1 week from now, that won't even cross over into 25. So I say all that to say blah, blah, blah. We got to live our best life, man. We got to live our life. We got to live our life for ourselves. We got to do what's in our best interest, as long as we ain't hurt nobody. As long as we ain't breaking no laws, right? And whatever activity we do, let it be legal in the countries that we go to. Hello, amen. And that's that. And we lit. And we lit, and we don't give a shit, and we don't care about what the haters say. The blue pill mangina cucks that can't travel for whatever reason, for whatever XYZ reason, these blue pill mangina cucks can't travel. Probably can't travel, one, because they ain't got no money. They ain't got the money up. Probably ain't got no passport. Probably owe all kind of child support. That, you know, when you owe too much child support, they don't let you travel. Probably owe too much back taxes. Just too much debt, can't afford to travel, or married and tied down, you know, married with the family life and they can't travel, so now they sit back and hate. Whatever the reason is, let them hate, man. Let them hate and just do what we do. Because you know, big boss, I don't give a damn. I turn up. I go overseas to bust it up and fuck these hoes. That's what I'm gonna do. Somebody said in the comments, YouTube gonna take this. YouTube ain't gonna take this down. Do you know how many rap songs that's uploaded on YouTube and it has hoes and bitches in the title? You can look it up right now on YouTube. Bitch hoe. Bitch, ho, ho, this, bitch, ho, ho. So I'll be damned if YouTube hate on my little live stream when I'm talking about what the fuck I want to talk about in Trump's America free speech. Hello. A hoe is a hoe, man. Don't get mad at Big Boss because there's hoes in the world. There's hoes in the world, Craig. There's hoes in the world. Oh, man. That being said, hold on. Let me put it on something else. You know, bossy boss. But yeah, but I got to thinking, you know, about this travel shit that we all into. Like, you know, again, we're running up on another year. This makes year 6 for me. This makes my 6th year traveling. Going into 25 would be year 7. And I got on the horse late, man. I got on the horse late. So let that be encouragement to all you old heads out there. It's never too late. I didn't start traveling at 24, 25 like young Austin Holloman. Shout out to nephew Austin Holloman out there in Nairobi. And I recently went to Nairobi. You know, I went to Nairobi for Halloween, for October, for my birthday. Stayed out in Kenya, Nairobi for 2 weeks. It was lit. It was a vibe. Linked up with Austin and whatnot. But I didn't travel when I was 24, 25. Hell, I didn't even travel when I was 30, 35, 40, 45. Close. I started traveling when I was 46 years old. Matter of fact, I was 46 when I traveled, and I traveled for my 47th birthday, right? Old man, old head, unk. Big Boss is a real unk. My first travel, 2018, Halloween 18, I turned 47, and that was my first travel. I turned 47. My last birthday, October, Halloween, I turned 53. That's right. 53 years old. 53. So that's 6 years. That's 6 years all day. 47 to 53. Next year I'm 54, and on and on and on. Right? If the good Lord say the same. Again, RIP, you know, talking about people not making it, you know, throughout the years. RIP to the GOAT, Kevin Samuels. who passed that 53, right? And that was a couple years ago now, right? In 2022, I believe. When Kevin Samuels passed, Kevin Samuels died at 53. I'm 53 now. And on the outside, you never really know what people got going on, health issues, right? Internal on the inside. But on the outside, he looked fit to me, tall, skinny. Well, we say slim, out of respect. But to me, skinny, tall, skinny, slim, seemed to be in good health. But he drank a lot of those Red Bulls, though. We know that. But tall and slender with not a lot of extra weight, and he died at 53. And here it is, I'm packing all this extra weight on me, and I'm 53. So, as we get up in age, we have to start looking at our health and things like this, because we want to be around for a while. We want to be around to enjoy the fruits of our labor. It sucks to work for 20 years or 30 years, right, or more. You get into your 50s, down their 60s, you have enough money to retire or this, that, the third, and you want to start traveling and enjoying yourself. Your kids are grown, empty nest of kids out the house. They went to college. They got their own place. Now you living for yourself in your later years. As soon as you get a little bit of freedom and some extra money, you croak, you die, you pass away. Damn. So that can't be boss, man. That can't be boss. So that's another thing. You know what they say about old folks? Old folks are ornery. Old folks don't care. And old folks speak their mind, right? Because first of all, they probably ain't got a lot of time left on the planet, right? They ain't got a lot of time left, so they really don't give a fuck. They don't give a flying fuck about what you say in your young whippersnapper opinion, and they done lived a whole lot of life. They live more life behind them than they got in front of them, right? Whatever they got in front of them, they live most of their life behind them. They got whatever in front of them, and they don't give a fuck about what you say. And that's the same with Bossy Boss. I do what the fuck I do. If you ain't the police, if you ain't the local police or the federal government, FBI, and no shit like that, then I don't give a fuck what you got to say. Because you have no control and effect over what I do. Things like that are your opinion. You have your own opinion. You can have an opinion. You can have an opinion, but it's just that. It's just your opinion. I'm grown. I do what the fuck I do. I'm overgrown. Remember, I'm 53. I'm overgrown. I do what the fuck I do. I don't hurt nobody. I work. I make my money. I spend my money. All this old kind of shit what they try to say about the passport bros exploiting. How is it fucking exploiting, right? When all you doing, okay, taking advantage, okay, I guess some of the words, some of the verbiage, right? When you're taking advantage of a situation and opportunities where you go somewhere where your money goes further, goes longer. So it's okay when the business do it, right? It's okay when the business shuts down the warehouse or the company that shut down the business in the States and they move it overseas and build up the same exact business. Same exact business. They shut it down in the States so they ain't got to pay no American workers and no union and no first world wages. They shut it down in the States, and then they open that same business up overseas so they can pay pennies on the dollar. Businesses do it all the time. There is a thing called health tourism or medical tourism. Like what we see it in effect of the passport bros, a lot of that, well, it's everything, all encompassing, but normally you're going to hear about it with dental work. Or maybe I might have to do that sooner rather than later, right? Go and get their teeth done, their teeth fixed over in Colombia, somewhere else. The same exact procedure, the same medical procedure that you would do here in the States, the same medical procedure, but you go overseas where that medical procedure is a lot cheaper, right? They do it all the time called medical tourism. Hell, I remember where marijuana used to be illegal in most of the states. I know it's still not legal in all 50 states of America. You know, sucks to be y'all. In California and Cali, you know, weed is legal. But when weed was illegal, like throughout the 50 states, everybody was flying over to Amsterdam, to Europe. They're going to Europe, Amsterdam to get high, to smoke weed, and to eat the brownies laced with the weed and the weed in the tea and all the shit. People always traveled to other locales to participate in what they want to participate in. But it only became some kind of moral fucking problem when guys wanted to do it to get with hoes. Sex. Now, oh my God, it's a big giant motherfucking problem. But medical tourism can do it if you want to get an operation and get your teeth fixed overseas before it can be cheaper. A business is damn sure do it if they want to save money on their taxes and their payroll. A business can do it. You know, other people could do it for other reasons, but for some reason, pigeonholed when it comes to men, right? Men going their own way, doing their own thing, men not bothering nobody, men taking a ball, going in the house, right? Going overseas to get a certain itch scratch. Now that's a big fucking problem. So I call bullshit on that. I call bullshit on that. Bullshit. You know, even here in the States, you know, in our great United States of America, all 50 states, or, you know, 51, 2, if you count Puerto Rico and Guam and other territories. And shout out to Trump. He's talking about buying Greenland. God damn it, that Trump, man. In all the 50 states, yes, we have our federal law. We have federal law. Certain things is just federal, all 50 states. Federal. But then you also have what? State laws. And I just talked about what? The marijuana. Talked about when it comes to gun rights, open carry, conceal and carry, how easy it is to get your firearm permit. Citizens can have guns, and some states citizens can't do just that. So even within our fragmented United States of USA, 50 states, state law have different laws. They have different laws and different statutes. You're not bound, and if you are from one state in the East Coast, and you get on a plane or you drive across country to the West Coast to visit some family, and now you're in a different state and their law is more lax on marijuana, you can have a joint if you want to. You better not take that thing back. If it's illegal in your state, you better not take it back. But while you're there, you can partake. It's legal in that state. It's like your law, that law doesn't follow you. What the hell? But for some reason, because prostitution is illegal here, mostly in the state, and even then, even that is an asterisk. It's an asterisk. Even that. Because we know for sure one state, remember, out of 50, 1, 2, 3, whatever, out of 50 states, one state is actually legal on the books, Nevada. So make it make sense. Why is it legal in that one state? Now, yeah, we know state laws, right? That, like, say, certain states have laws about guns, marijuana, this and that, or whatever. But prostitution, P4P, is legal in America in one state. So I don't want to fucking hear it. Keep your moral high ground to your motherfucking self. It's legal in one state. Okay, so the other 49 states, right? The other 49 where it's not. If passport bros choose to go somewhere where prostitution is legal there, then we are partaking in what's already going on there. How's that taking advantage? How is that exploiting? So it's just a lot of bullshit. With that being said, though, in this topic, men going their own way, men doing what they want to do, paying it forward. As long, again, I talked about law. As long as we don't break no laws, break no rules, no Diddy. As long as we don't do no Diddy shit, right? Do not break any laws, any local laws. Obey our laws. Be respectful, right? Who gives a fuck? But that being said, in these 6 years I've been traveling, I actually been to a few countries. Now, obviously, since I got into the game late, put me in, coach. Since I got into the game late, I didn't go to a whole lot of places. And as I reflect at all the multiple times I went back to some of the same places I've been to, right? I said, man, if I would have really switched it up, I could have hit a lot more different places. So, to my recollection, and maybe I should have took some notes before I did this, but on my belt, I have about 20 trips. Easy. I think like 18, 19. We're just going to fucking say 20. 20 trips, 18 to 20 trips. Now, at those 18 or 20, 21 trips, was only like 5 or 6 places. So what did that mean? I kept going back to the same place a couple times. Kept going back, right? And so that's another thing that I'm starting to realize, that it's good to spread it around. Yeah, I get it. When you get a nice honeycomb spot, right, that you want to keep going back. And then also, it is what it is. Like for most of us, we're not expats. Most of us, we're guys who work jobs. Whether it's white collar or blue collar, we work jobs and or have responsibilities here in the States. So we literally vacation. Most of us were not gone for 6 months or even 3 months. Some of us can actually squeeze out a month sometime. Most of us, 2 weeks. 2 weeks, 10 days. And these weekend warriors kill me, man, with these 4-day trips. I'll put up 4. With 4-day trips. Right? So, obviously, if you're only somewhere for 2 weeks or even 3 weeks, right? You can't see a whole country, let alone a city or two. You can't explore a whole country in 2 weeks. You just kind of can't, right? You're there to do what you do. So that normally leads into the subsequent trips, the second and third trip. Every trip you want to improve, you want to see a little more, you want to do more activities. Maybe you didn't do all the activities the first time. So the second time you go, you want to go to on this tour and book this excursion and go see these sites, and go to this place. And then the next time you go, you go on more activities and things like that. So each time you go, you expand. So that can take some time. And then some people, not all, some people do take time to actually learn the language of some of these countries, like so Spanish, right? And so one thing about, and I should have been did it, right? Spanish, someone told me that if you can speak Spanish, you can speak to, I think they said like a fifth of the world, like something like that. I know it wasn't a third, obviously. There's something like a fifth of the world. You'll be able to communicate with 1/5 of the world just by speaking Spanish. There's so many Spanish-speaking countries outside of America. Now, the other countries that speak English don't fucking matter, right? You already got that. But then, you have your other language. You have your German, you have your French, you have your Portuguese, you have this, that, and the third. But if you can speak Spanish, that would grant you, open up the door for you to speak to about a fifth of the world. I'm like, wow. So then some people, as they learn these languages, right, that's an incentive for them to go back to that country. Like if you spend all that time, energy, effort, and money to learn a certain language, you're going to go back, right? Return on your investment. You're going to learn all this language for these few countries, and then go to a whole nother set of countries where they speak something else, right? So I get it. But blah, blah, blah. That being said, it's a big world out there. almost 200 nations. Almost. I think the count was 195. 195 countries. With 195 countries, I guess God shouldn't only go to 5. 195, and Passport Bros only go to 5, not the 190. Now, of course, going for what we go for, right? Not every country in the world is going to be down for that. Not every country in the world is going to even be set up for that. Not every country in the world is going to tolerate it. And but one thing you do notice, the countries that the Passport Bros go to, by and large, right? Prostitution is legal in those countries. Connect the dots. 2 + 2 = 15. Connect the dots. So the countries that the Passport Bros go to, those countries also, P4P, red light districts, is legal. To that being said, in my 6 years of travel, I did about 5 countries to run them off. Well, I think with the addition, the new one, me going to Africa, Nairobi, I think that made it 6. So let's run it off. Dominican Republic, where I first started my journey as a young man of 47 years old, just 6 years ago. Dominican Republic. And since I've done Dominican Republic 5 times. Remember I said I kept going multiple times? I definitely could have broke that up. But Dominican Republic 5 times. Dominican Republic. Then Colombia, Passport Bro spot. A lot of Passport Bros love it. Colombia, Medellin. Oh, Medi. Oh, Medellin, the best thing since sliced ice cream. They love Medi and Cartagena. I like Bogota. So I did Dominican Republic and I did Colombia. I did Colombia 3 times. That's 8 trips right there, 5 and 3. After Colombia, believe it or not, I didn't do Brazil yet. I did Thailand. I actually did Thailand before I did Brazil. I did Dominican Republic, Colombia, and Thailand. That's 3 countries. And Thailand, I just did 6 times. Now, I didn't plan to do it 6 times like that. 5 was enough because I did the Dominican 5, and I had planned to do Thailand 5. But Thailand ended up being 6 because those who follow the Bossy Boss lore, my younger brother, Madman 08, he wanted to go to Thailand. And this is us going to the floating village. That's my brother, E40, E50. And that handsome red devil back there. I think you know who that handsome red devil is back there. Yeah, he wanted to go to Thailand. Yeah. So, me and the brother, we went to the Tiger Park in Thailand, saw the tigers. See that handsome red devil. And somebody was taming the tiger. Right, that big old tail. That thing, when it roared, I was like, wow. That roar was deep. But, yeah, so that was dope. I'm not mad at it. Shout out to my younger brother, Madman 08. That was his very first trip. And very interesting. It was for his birthday. And he turned 47. He was 46, turning 47. Now I'm 6 years older than my younger brother. I'm 6 years older. That was his first trip, and he turned 47. 6 years ago, my first trip is when I turned 47. So that's very interesting. But my first trip was Dominican Republic. His first trip was Thailand. And that's what I remember I said, bro, what the hell? This is your first trip, man. Crawl before you walk, okay? Crawl before you walk, man. You shooting for the bleachers already. I said, no, man, I don't want to go to I said, you ain't went nowhere. Man, them DR hoes look like Oakland hoes. I said, oh, man. He said, I'll be watching the YouTube. I watch YouTube, and I see them big booty Dominican chicks. Yeah, they look fine. They look good and all the shit, but they ratchet. They look hella ratchet. They look ratchet as hell. Them Dominican hoes look like Oakland hoes. I said, oh, man. I couldn't even say nothing to that one. He had me. I said, Thailand it is, man. So Thailand was number 6, man. The third country, and I did it 6 times. But I added in, okay, I forgot. You must have forgot. I added in the country. So when I went to Thailand for the 6th time, I added in the Philippines. Because believe it or not, all these, I've been going to Thailand since 2019. So these 4 or 5 years of going to Thailand, those 5 trips, I skipped over Philippines because Philippines had a very tough COVID vaccination requirements. And, Bossy Boss is not vaccinated. God gave me a strong immune system. I believe in natural immunity. Shout out to RFK Jr., Trump's nominee for the lead the health department. I believe in natural immunity. So I never got vaxxed. And Philippines wasn't having that. So as it was, Thailand was tripping for a while, but then Thailand slowly got off of it. And one of my trips, I think it was trip number 4, was in the height of COVID. And that's when Thailand had did like some kind of health pass thingy. It was weird. You had to sign up online and get a health declaration and submit your negative test, and then get a COVID pass or some kind of crap. This is during the bad days of COVID. So blah, blah, blah. So that's why I never did Philippines. And then finally, Philippines had lowered their requirements. And so I was able to go. So I forgot this. I got to add in Philippines. So Dominican Republic, 5 times. Colombia, 3 times. Thailand, 6 times. Philippines, number 1, 1 time. Also, then Brazil, the mighty, mighty Brazil, which a lot of people call the Mecca. They call Brazil the Mecca. They say it's one of the first or the original before the name came out, right? So, like, it's before the name, before Papa, bro. But one of the original single men destination sex spots, whatever you want to call it, right? Was Brazil from back in the day. And so for a while, Brazil kind of went under the radar as people were going to Dominican Republic and Colombia. But years ago, shout out to Charles Tyler, he kind of put Brazil back on the brothers' map. And so I've been going to Brazil since 2020. My first trip was 2020, right before the pandemic. Man, I was skirting. I was moving around that pandemic, boy. As the pandemic was shutting things down, I was getting in last minute trip. And this is all being unvaxxed. I'm being unvaxxed. I was skirt. But yeah, I did Brazil 5 times. So my channel doesn't show it because some of these travels, well, like half of my travels was before I started YouTube. Now, I only been doing YouTube right, for 3 years, right? A long time. But I've been traveling for 6. I've been traveling for 6 years. I only did YouTube for 3. So half of that, I wasn't doing YouTube, right? And even then, I keep it above when I first started YouTube traveling. I wasn't used to YouTube, and man, you know why I travel. And then half the shit I do, I can't film anyway. So over time, I learned to film what I could film, right? Film the food, film the restaurant, film the beach. You go walk somewhere in the shop, film that, and then call that your trip. And 90% of it, it cannot be shown on YouTube. You can verbally talk about it pretty much, because we do have free speech. We have American right, First Amendment free speech. You can talk about it, but you can't really show it. Right. So Brazil, So then finally, this last October, Big Boss finally went to the motherland, Africa. So that was dope. That was a whole vibe. I'm definitely going back. I'm definitely going back to Africa, man. I'm going back. Again, 2 weeks. And that's almost a crime, man. To go that far, to fly that far, to go to the continent of Africa. Africa's a continent with 54 countries. To fly that far, go to a continent, only stay for 2 weeks, and basically be in one country, in one city of a country for 2 weeks and then fly back home. I'm like, damn. Man, that's like playing GTA and only discovering, 3% of the map. You got the whole world map, you haven't opened, as you go to more spots, the little gray, dark area kind of expands and the more the map opens up and the GTA map, it's like just exploring like 3% of it, and you feel it. You're like, damn, but what can you do? If you ain't living somewhere, if you're not expatting. So shit, that 2 weeks, I was just in the capital city of Nairobi. I didn't even get a chance to go to the coastal beach town of Mombasa in Kenya. In Kenya, the country of Kenya, their big city, capital city is Nairobi, but they also have a beach town called Mombasa. And Mombasa is supposed to be like their Sosua. Mombasa is the Kenyan version of Sosua, beach town, pros, all the shit. And so I saw that was very interesting. Now, after I've been to a few places, right, I have a Rolodex in my mind. You could do that after you experience multiple places, right? If you only been to 1 or 2 places, you don't really have that Rolodex yet. But you go to 5, 6, 7 countries, you build a Rolodex in your mind. And I said, man, this is just like Dominican Republic. You got the big city, capital city, Santo Domingo, and you got the beach town of Sosua. And also the beach town of Boca Chica, and a lot of beaches, right? But you have the big city, Santo Domingo, and the beach town of Sosua. This is like Thailand. You got the big city, Bangkok, that you fly into, the big city, Bangkok, and then the beach town of Pattaya. I said, wow. This is like Brazil. You have the big city of Sao Paulo, but then you have the beach city of Rio de Janeiro. You can't call it a town. I said, it's interesting that a lot of these countries have the same kind of dynamic. They have the big city vibe, and then they have the beach vibe. I'm one that tend to like the beach vibe. Yeah, I'm from Oakland, California, man. So I come from a big city in the shadow of a bigger city, San Francisco, right across the water, right across the Bay Area. So I'm from Oakland / San Francisco. I don't go on vacations to go to a big city. I don't need to be in traffic. I want to be sitting in the taxi in traffic and all the shit. I get it. Everybody vacation different, and some people from the States, they probably don't live in a big city. They probably live in a damn town, a rural hick town. I live in a big city. I'll go on vacation. I'm not trying to go to no big city. I want to go to a beach. I want to be around some water. Hopefully the water is clear. You can see all the way through, see your feet, right? And I'm mostly going for what? The hoes. Boss is going for the hoes. Obviously, Mombasa is a city, right? It's still a city. I mean, whether you say city or town, even a town is a city. So I see we got and that's why I don't focus on the chats, especially when they're not super, right? I come on here to say what I'm going to motherfucking say. If y'all want to say something, you super chat it for the most part, especially if you're talking bullshit. That being said, the places I've been to, hoes. Who have the best hoes, right? Who has the best hoes? Big Boss. you're going to get canceled on YouTube. Man, I've been talking like this for 3 years. Not one of my videos got taken down. Not one. Well, I take that back. But that wasn't about this. The craziest thing, and I still don't like it, the only video that ever got taken down off my channel was, I don't even know if I should talk about it now and trigger YouTube, but it was some bullshit of a Sony executive. I won't say his name, maybe that's why, but a Sony executive who got fired from Sony because he was sexting a 15-year-old boy. Okay, boy, not girl, boy. A 15-year-old boy on some Diddy shit, right? Pause on Diddy. He was sexing a 15-year-old boy using leverage, using his position at Sony Play. He worked for Sony PlayStation. Not just Sony, he worked for the video game company. He was a chief executive at Sony PlayStation, and he was using his position to reach out to kids, to boys. It was all on the news. It was on I got the article from the news. I got it from the news. I put it on YouTube, and sometime later, I got my first hard strike, and they took that video down. I'm like, wow. Hello, who is YouTube protecting? This is on the news. Are you going to strike the news? I take something from the news, put it on my channel, I get a hard strike. All this shit I talk about, I've been talking this manga shit for years. And YouTube let me fly, let me skate. I use copyright music. I do all the shit. YouTube let Bossy Boss rock. But I talked about that Sony PlayStation executive who was sexting 15-year-old boys using his job at Sony PlayStation to meet kids. Then they took that video down and gave me a hard strike. I said, wow. I said, okay. Well, back to the hoes. I guess I could talk about hoes. And if anything, Bossy Boss, I know the hoes. I know the hoes. And I would say a lot of the Passport Bros know the hoes too. And so it's just a thing. So it's crazy. I was at the gym the other day working out. And the whole way this conversation came about because the person had a cool hoodie on. He was on an elliptical bike. And the hoodie was just like an image of a globe and a plane. I said, it was on his back. So I walked in front of him, I'm all in this grill. I look, and it said catch flights. I said, wow. But it didn't say catch flights, not feelings. It said catch flights. So I talked to the brother. I said, what you know about that? So, this is my friend's stuff. This is his merch. I said, what? He a content creator? He a YouTuber or something? I said, no, I don't think so. I said, is he a traveler? He must be a traveler. I said, and then we had a good conversation. I told him, I said, hey, I'm a Passport Bro. He said, oh, you are? So, I ran it down. I ran it down to him what I'll be doing. His eyes got like this. He subscribed right away. He put on his phone. He subscribed right away. I don't know if he's watching right now, but he's one of my subscribers now. But that's how that conversation started, And I guess why some people like you wear merch, whether it's Trump stuff or whatever you rock with, you wear the merch. A lot of times that's a conversation starter, right? They say, what you know about that? What you know about that? Yeah, I saw the dude. He had the symbol of a globe and a plane on his back. And then I looked on the breastplate. It said catch flights. I checked him. I said, dude, I like on some gang shit. Like, where you from, bro? What set you playing? I said, what you know about that, man? I said, so that was a good conversation. But when I was breaking it down to the young bro, I said, technically, the Passport Bros are not really cap. They're a little cap. Talking about they looking for fit, feminine, friendly, submissive wife and all this shit. This is why Big Boss say they not all the way cap. This is why I say that. Hold on one second. What the hell? Tell you, got so much stuff on here. And I'm looking for shit. I can't find it and break my flow. But the reason why they not cap is because it is my firm belief majority, maybe not all, but the vast majority of passport bros are thinking in the back of their mind, down the line, right? 10 years, 15 years, maybe 20, depending on how young you are. Shout out to the young guys, right? Depending on how young you are when you start, you start when you're 25, like Austin, or starting down there 50, like Boss. Down the line, there's an exit ramp. Down the line, there is a curtain call where you will hang up your gun, hang up your 6-shooters for the most part. You will find you a special chick, a special someone, and settle down. Now, the thing is, that is not right away. Guys are not getting on flight. They're not paying that money, booking flights to go find them a wife right now, a right now wife. They're not. They're booking flights to have fun, to enjoy themselves, to kick it, to frolic, to experiences different cultures, different countries. And even while they're doing it, in the midst of doing that, in the back of their mind, they're calculating like different countries, like the prices to live here, the property, the different rules and laws, how the women are. And then you start narrowing down, and you're keeping that in the back of your mind. The front side, you're having fun. You turning up. You lit. You doing what you do. You running and gunning. You are. But in the back of your mind, you know that shit can't go on forever. So at some future point, you are slowly narrowing down where your honeycomb spot's going to be, where your expat spot going to be. Will yours be Brazil? Will yours be Colombia? Will yours be Thailand? Will yours be somewhere in Africa like Nairobi? When you get ready to settle down with a traditional wife, not from America. And even then, and the conversations are going on in the groups, and I can tell you, guys always knew this, but it's just coming more apparent, unfortunately, as social media is basically spreading all around the world and having all these chicks act like American chicks and westernized. Even then, guys are knowing when they go to these other countries that a lot of times they won't be able to, or not that they won't be able to, but they will not prioritize getting a main chick, a real chick, a settled down wife from a big city in these other countries. Whoa! What am I saying? When they go to these other countries, after all the kicking in and fun and the frolicking and the turning up and the running through and doing the high numbers and all the shit, right? Being a man, doing your Wilt Chamberlain type shit. When you're ready to settle down later, you're going to look in the province. You're going to look in the village. I get it. Like, boss, it's a city. Okay. You ain't going to look in the city. You're going to look in the motherfucking village. You're going to look in the village, rice hut. You're going to look in the province, out in the boonies, not the big cities, especially the big cities with the international airport that you fly right into, that same city, right? At least a couple of cities and towns and provinces and villages over. Not that same city, not that same big city you fly into, that big built-up tourist city, a lot of English speaking, everybody's on social media. Oh, no. That's where you have fun. That's where you have fun. That's where you kick it, right? You kind of get the best of both worlds in the fun stage. You have, like, the fun of kicking it in a Western society type shit, right? Well, Western society where things are built up, is English speaking, there's nightlife, there's club infrastructure, but the women aren't not quite Americanized all the way like a real American woman, right? So it's almost like you get the best of both worlds. And the kind of flip side, the downside, the trade-off is once you start getting off to them villages, start getting off to the boonies, getting out to the province to get you that kind of pure, uncorrupted chick, hey, you're gonna have to learn the language. She's gonna have to learn some language. There's gonna be learning curves, but that would be worth it because you don't want to inherit another problem. You don't want a westernized, feminized mindset in a whole nother country. What's the fucking point? You could just stay here for that. So guys are even realizing within the groups, and like I say, this talk is still kind of years removed because vast majority of guys, man, we kicking it, we turning up, we frolicking, we busting holes, we doing what it do. But any real guy would tell you, in the quiet time that down the line they are also looking for a wife or a companion, someone to carry their seed, someone to be with them down the line, and they're not going to look in the big city, in the big tourist city, because more than likely those chicks are Americanized and they are corrupted and they are westernized, mostly through social media. Hello. So yeah, so I bring that all the way back around full circle. Like I was telling a brother, that's why the Passport Bros are not really full of cap. They are a little bit, because the front side, the public message, we're looking for wives. We're looking for fit, feminine, and friendly, submissive wives. Yes and no. You are, but it's not today. You're not doing that today. Today, you're kicking it. Today, you're fucking with hoes. That's what you're doing today. You're fucking with hoes today and tomorrow and next week. But down the line, that is part of the process. That is part of the master plan. That is for real. That is part of the plan down the line. And in the meantime, in between time, you do your thing and I do mine. Oh man. So again, that being said, all these places I've been to, now I think it's like I said, 7 countries. 1 or 2 was a one-off. Like the Kenya was a one-off. Because I will go again, but that was my first time in Africa, my very first time in Africa. So why not Kenya? The homie Austin was there. My homie GMT Travels, Get Money Travels. He was very instrumental in giving me a lot of information. He loves Nairobi. So Nairobi, Kenya already had somewhat of a Passport Bro presence or foothold. Almost like some Marines type shit, right? Go somewhere where we already have a foothold already, right? We have a beachhead. Just a few, not a lot of us. We have a few Marines that set up a forward base, a beachhead already there. Versus some other places that's kind of untapped, or not a lot of information on, right? And so when you go, you'll be kind of like one of the first ones there. Like, hello. You'll be the Christopher Columbus of the Passport Bros. You'll be the first one going there. And, well, I'll go somewhere where it's already some Passport Bros already, right? Safety in numbers type shit. So that's why I did Nairobi, because it was already a presence there in Nairobi with Austin Holloman and others. That's why I've been to Nairobi. But when I go back to Africa, I do want to expand. Finally want to get to freaking Egypt for the pyramids, not the hoes, the pyramids. I want to get to Egypt, and I want to do South Africa. And eventually, it's a lot of other African countries. Remember, it's 54 countries. Wow. So, yeah, you guys, man, you keep going to the same damn country over and over and over. And I see why. But, and all you're going back and forth to the same countries, you should break it up so you can see more. Like I say, there's guys within our community, shamefully, that have not did Brazil or Thailand, either one. They haven't went to the Far East. They haven't went to Asia to go to Thailand. And they didn't even go to Brazil, which is not that much farther than Colombia, right? And I get it. It is a little far. It's the other tip. But, damn. They only did Dominican Republic and Colombia. That's it. DR in Colombia. DR in Colombia. Sosúa and Medellin. Sosúa and Cartagena. Santo Domingo, Cartagena. DR Colombia. That's it. Two-step passport bros. Only went to two damn countries. DR and Colombia, that's it. Didn't go to Asia. Didn't even go to Brazil. Forget about Africa. Yeah, forget about it. So, yeah, man, we got to step it up in 2025, man. Got to step it up. If you've been to DR 10 times, and some of you guys have. Hell, I've been 5. If you've been to DR 10 times and you ain't been to Thailand or Brazil, you tripping. So you gotta break it up, man. You gotta break it up. You gotta go to more places, man. Don't be a one-trick pony. But I know you guys are waiting on my breakdown. My breakdown of the individual who has the best. Oh, I've been talking an hour and haven't even answered the question. Haven't answered the question. Oh. Well, I can tell you had the worst. So we're going to start from the bottom. Now we're here. Start from the bottom. Now the whole crowd rocking. Start from the bottom. The worst, and they're not necessarily overseas, they're overland. Mexico. Sorry, QB. QB passport flex, man. He loves him some Mexico. Shout out to QB. QB passport flexing. The worst. Now, in QB's defense, he said it on his channel, right? So I'm not saying nothing behind his back. He said it on his channel. He participates in the P4P sometimes. He supplements in between with the P4P, but that's not his thing. That's not his bag. Shout out to him. QB likes the GFE, the girlfriend experience, So he would go on a trip with one chick, maybe two at most. He'll fly a chick out. So what I'm saying is, I'm talking about P4P. So yeah, shout out to the QB passport flexing who reps real hard for Mexico. Mexico should give QB some of their tourism budget the way he pushes Mexico. But then again, QB also doesn't push for the P4P in Mexico. He pushed for the GFE. And of that, hey, if that's his lane, that's his lane. Big balls, I'm talking about hoes, man. Shout out to Bo Jackson. Bo knows, boss knows. Boss knows hoes. And hoes in Mexico, it's a no-no. Especially Tijuana. And I'm right here in the Bay Area. I'm in the Bay. I'm in Oakland. 6-hour drive away from LA. And LA is only like another hour or two away from LA. Because LA is big. LA, and then you get to San Diego. And then from San Diego to the actual border, right? To no man's land, to the Badlands. So Mexican cross over to Mexico. But I'm right here. And I don't even fucking go. I would go to Sosúa before I go to Mexico. And that's on a plane. Big balls, I would go to DR, Dominican Republic, before I go to Mexico, which is across the land. It's that whack. Why is that whack? Well, one, they tend to be racist. They're racist to blacks down there, and they treat us a little different. Two, it's not safe at all. Almost every time I went, well, the last time or two, I did not get extorted by the police. The last time or two, but the first couple times, the first time I got extorted, big time. But even every time I went, man, the police, boy, the police, they be out to get you. The Mexican police be out to get you, boy. They count your pockets. They watching you like a hawk. Any little reason for the police to come in interaction with you, you know, they basically running your pockets. It's not the most safest of shit. The cartels do a good job of keeping like other criminals away, so that's a good thing. The areas where the P4P and the red light is in Mexico was ran by the cartel. Cartels are pretty good at keeping crime down. But believe it or not, right? Go figure. Because again, they don't want nothing messing up the money. But you know, the girls, it's not that expensive, but they're very transactional. They're down there have you pay for each position. No shit. Each position. I'm like, what the fuck? They keep half their clothes on, like they keep the top on. You know, pull the skirt and the bottom part down and keep the top on. No kissing. I don't kiss anyway. No sucking on breasts. Very robotic, very transactional. And yeah, this is a bad experience. So I wouldn't mess around with it. And the crazy part about it, everybody's different. Some guys love it. They love it. They love it. They love it. Now, again, I'm not a big drinker too. So in a lot of these red light places, one thing that makes a red light, obviously the girls, the women, the sex, are bars and nightclubs. You know, the liquor is flowing. And so a lot of guys have like addictive personalities. So when they go down to mess with hoes, they got to drink and get drunk. Some of them got to do drugs. RIP to the homie Kenny Ken. KPR1, man. That was my road dog, man. KPR1 was my road dog. Right here in California, he lived in LA. He lived in Los Angeles, right? And since he lived in LA, he would go to Tijuana Mexico all the time. Like he would go like almost every weekend. For him, it was on like a 2-hour drive from where he was in LA to Mexico. And spoke some Spanish, and he loved Colombia. And when he couldn't go to Colombia, he'd just go to Mexico. And people in the community know, you know, they know the details surrounding Kenny Ken's death. But Kenny Ken passed away in Tijuana, Mexico. Kenny Ken died in Tijuana, Mexico, in a hotel room, you know, doing what he do. Again, some people really, they go to Colombia messing with Tussie. Some people seems like they can't only just go for hoes. They gotta drink a lot. They gotta smoke. They gotta sniff, snort, shoot, inject. Well, I just like pussy. I just want the hoes. I drink some water, some Red Bulls, some Kool-Aid. You know, I drink a little bit. I mean, and I'm not that type of dude, man. You know, worst kind of word. You know, I drink. You know, but that's not my thing. So, in these red light districts, outside of the hoes, is drinking. It's drinking and it's drugs and it's other vices. And so that's some of the things that make it not safe. Segue into Colombia, Medellin, right? Guys go for the hoes. They go for the women down the Park La Aris. But a lot of them, well, not a lot. Many brothers don't make it back. They go to Colombia, Medellin, Colombia for the hoes. And they get caught up drinking. And they drink be spiked with scopolamine. And sometimes they don't wake up. Because you can't just go there for hoes. You have like an addictive personality that it got to be, what does somebody say? Got to be cocaine and hookers. You got to sniff some lines off a hooker's ass. I just like the pussy. Just give me the pussy. You can keep the dope. You can keep the drugs. Maybe a little alcohol, just a little. But, so you just got to watch it. You just got to watch it. So a lot of guys like going down to Tijuana because they do have like some lit bars and nightclubs. The liquor be flowing. And some of the women be pretty or whatnot. But I don't like the whole environment. It's not fucking safe. Least of all from the police. It's funny. You don't have to worry about criminals too much because, again, the cartels keep it safe from criminals. But you ain't safe from the fucking police. And the police ain't trying to shoot you like out here in the States. They just want to rob you. They want to extort you. And I'm good. And then the women are very transactional. Got to pay for each fucking position, and no. So Mexico, that's the pits. Number 2 at the bottom of the list. Everybody's favorite. Like most people's favorites tend to be my worst or at the bottom. You'll see as this go on. Next, DR Colombia. DR Colombia. DR. Is it late already? DR Colombia. I know why I said that because in my mind. So the next one is DR, then it's Colombia. So number 2, Dominican Republic. When I say Dominican Republic, I mean Sosúa. I understand there's Santo Domingo, the big city. I understand there's the other beach town on the south side of the island, Boca Chica. I understand you have La Vega. I understand you have Punta Cana. Shout out to Razor Rays. Razor Rays loves him some Punta Cana, and I haven't been. So I'm not speaking of Punta Cana. Now, going to that island 5 times over like 4 years, 3 to 4 years, 5 times, and just knowing the Dominican mind frame, I don't see a giant difference from a Sosúa to a Punta Cana in the mentality. I don't see it. Ray's seems to love it. Shout out to him. And then shout out to Milano. Milano, the travel vlogger. He's just out there. Like literally just out there. And he doesn't like it. Again, everybody mongers differently. I know he has some difficulties. He put out on his channel that he had basically got jammed up by some chicks. I didn't get a chance to watch that video, so I don't want to misspeak on what exactly happened. Go to his channel and check it out if you haven't already. But Milano was just in Dominican Republic, Punta Cana, where Razor Rays loves Punta Cana. Milano saying it's not it. He said it's not it. Milano is saying that it's basically Sosúa 2.0. And it's about the same or worse. And funny, I thought that already. But again, I have to digress because I didn't go my own self. But it's called common fucking sense, right? It's common sense. I would. That's a 1, 2, 3 next logical step. That's what I thought. And that's what Milano said. But yeah, Razor loves it. But from what I would think, the way Sosúa is in that beach town, I don't see Punta Cana being no better, unless you say like the girls look better, it's better quality. But then again, what does it matter how good the girls look if the software is fucked up? Hell, here in the States, in America, a lot of women look good in America. So don't get that twisted. I mean, I know it's a passport bro type meme-ism to say American women are all overweight and obese and all this old kind of shit. But and some of them are. But America got a lot of good-looking women. It fairly maybe because I'm here in California. I'm here in California Bay Area, LA to the Bay. But the looks and the bodies is not the problem. You know what the problem is? The software, the attitudes, the entitlement, that mouth, that trash personality. That's the problem, not the body. They look good. Physically, they look good. but the attitudes are shit. So what does it fucking matter if the girls are? But when you go talk to them and they talking about $100, $150 in a fucking third world country, are you serious? Are you serious? In the third world country, where the average laborer worker earns about 200 US a month, not a week, a month, $200 a month. You're talking about $100 for one session, and you guys don't even honor the time. And so, yeah, that's another thing. You come to see that the places I don't like is where traditionally the working girls, they don't honor the hour. And they actually have false advertisement. They say an hour to reel you in, but they don't mean an hour. When they verbally say 1 hour, they mean one leche, one pop, one nut, one orgasm, one session. They say an hour, but they don't mean a physical 60 minutes hour. It just means one nut. And so you can learn, so this is a pro tip, you can learn to use that to your advantage during the negotiations. If you know she on that type of time, cut that price all the way down, and then you just tell her up front. You tell her, you got to put in translate. If you ain't speaking the language right, say, look, I'm going to pay you X amount for one nut. You beat her to the punch. Because, see, that's what it was going to be anyway. Had you not said it, it was already going to be that. It's already going to be one nut. But it's going to be one nut at what she say for the hour. And then once you nut, time to go. You're like, hold on. You know, especially if you're a quick guy. I got 40 minutes. I got 40 minutes left. No, Poppy. You said an hour. No, but you came already. So no. So everything is communication, verbalization, communicate. And I still say, get it on text. I don't care if you speak perfect fucking Spanish. Put it on text and screenshot it. Put it in text. Whatever you negotiate, put it in a text message, screenshot it for proof. That's your proof. That's your evidence, right? But use that to your advantage, because that's all they mean anyway. They only mean one nut anyway. So you say it first. So you know what? I'm not going to pay you that for your hour. I'll pay you this for one nut. They'll fill away, but 75% of the time they're going to take it right then and there. And 90% of the time they're going to take it like later. Like they might walk off to save face and hit you anywhere from an hour to a few hours later, maybe the next day. What you doing? Hey, offer still stands. You heard what the fuck I said. The offer stands. What I said. Okay. What's your hotel? What's your room number? Yeah, that's what I fucking thought. Yeah, man. You got to stand on business with these hoes, man. I told you, boss knows hoes, man. And they will try to do what you let them get away with. But a lot of guys are soft and a lot of guys are simps for different reasons, right? Some guys, because they don't get pussy in the States. They don't get attention in the States. And, you know, what the fuck ever. I don't give a fuck what the reason is. A lot of guys are just fucking simps. And they just cave in. They cave in and they give in. And they have all kind of fucking excuses. They have excuses to give in. You got to stand on business. Like, no. Walk away. Be able to walk away and say no. Trust me, wherever you go is not one hoe. Hello. All of that rhymes. Wherever you go, there's not one hoe. Walk away. She'll think about that shit. You know what I'm saying? She don't get no other customers, and that stomach start growling, right? And she needs to come up with some money to pay for her room that night. Yeah, that'll get some act right. But anyway, like I say, them places, especially Dominican Republic, DR, South Suba, when the girls say 1 hour, they don't mean 1 hour. They mean one nut. And so you can beat them to the punch first. You can say first, well, I'm gonna give you X amount for one nut. And make sure you screenshot it, screen record, save it, because Dominican chicas, what they like to do, get into the room, they get into the hotel room and switch prices. I never had that happen so much. And Sasua, even now, Sasua is still the king of that. They're the king of that. Thank God, for the most part, the DR chicks are not scoping like that. I have heard of a few isolated incidents, even in the DR, about that. I have. But it's super rare. It's super rare. So that's not even the thing to worry about. Usually I'm more worried about in DR Sasua is them quoting you a price, a low price. Well, first of all, it ain't gonna be low. They're quoting you a reasonable price, right, to get in the door. They quote you a reasonable price to get their foot in the door, and once they get their foot in the door, they jack the price up. Especially after you have sex, jack the price up. He said, "Wait, we said this amount. No, I want this." And especially if you already had sex. That's one thing. Yeah, and most likely that's normally when they do it. I mean, but I had it always, man. I had it always. I had it where, and again, this is not even smart for them. So that'll let you know how dumb some of them are. This is not even smart for them to do. Some of them changed the price in the room before we did the act. If she was smart, she would have did the act first and then up it. But, woo, The guys love it, boy. They love them some Sasua. They love them to sue. But that's what them girls do, man. They are notorious for quoting you a price. I call it the Trojan horse, just like that fable of Troy. They quote you a price to get into the door, once they get into the room, then they up the price. And now the police got to get involved. And once the police get involved, it's always going to be more money. Like those Mexico police in these third world countries, they want money. Even Brazil, I'm going to get into that too. Almost every country. The only country I didn't get pressed by police like that was Thailand. Yeah, and I heard that they do it there. This ain't happened to me. In Thailand, I hear that the play that the cops do is they get the guys on motorbikes. You know, the American dudes who like to rent the scooters and the motorbikes. The Thai police pulls over the Americans or the European, the Westerners, and hit them like with a ticket like right then and there, like type shit. But I digress. I get on that later. But that haven't happened to me. I got ran up on by police in the DR for money. But nothing like Mexico, though. Mexico is off the chain. Them federales, man. Mexico police are off the chain. Mexico police are some gangsters, man. Mexico police are gangsters. Shit, they probably have cartel. I don't know. But I got ran up on in DR by Dominican police or military. Tell them, man. They police look just like military, man. Full fatigues, all the shit, long ARs and all the shit. Oh, man. Yeah, I love the DR, man. These third world countries. Yeah, but them DR chicks, man, they'll quote you a price. They get in the room, they'll raise the price. And they're very kleptomatic. They like to steal. They'll steal everything in that motherfucking room. If it's not, we have a term called chica proof. You need to lock up everything in the safe. Hopefully, your place have a safe. If you're staying in a hotel, the hotel normally has a safe. A lot of you guys like Airbnbs and villas. And sometimes these Airbnbs don't quite have a safe. So it's on you to kind of safeguard your own shit, right? The Dominican chicks are very kleptomaniac. Not all, but a lot. And then I'm talking about the P4P ones, right? This whole conversation is about working girls, sex workers, P4P, paid whore prostitutes. They are very kleptomaniac. They will steal down the end. They still use toothpaste. They steal your cologne. I'm like, what the hell? But I guess the cologne, they can get to their boyfriend. I don't know. Oh, yeah. Lock up all your stuff. And get the price. I'm getting a headache just talking about DR. So yeah, but Mexico worse. DR number 2. Number 3, bottom of the list. Number 3, Colombia. And again, a lot of passport bros love Colombia. They love those 2 places. They love DR and they love Colombia. And the main 2 places they love, I like the least. And that's the trick, because I'm a hardcore monger. Because I should tell you something. A hardcore motherfucking monger likes these passport bro places that they like the most. I like them the least. Maybe for different reasons. Now Colombia. Normally when you say Colombia with passport bros, you're talking Medellin, you're talking Cartagena. You're not even really talking Bogota too much. I mean, some guys obviously do go to Bogota, right? And they go to Cali, they go to Barranquilla. I get it. Blah, blah, blah. I know. Okay. Save me the violin. I know. Guys go to Cali, they go to Barranquilla. I get it. But generally, in regards to passport broism, passport bros go to Colombia is Medellin and Cartagena, with a nod to Bogota. And funny, that Bogota, that's the best place I like. I can't stand Medi. Medi is whack. I hate it. I don't hate it. I very strongly dislike it. And most passport bros love it. They love it, and I strongly dislike it. Now, Cartagena, their beach area, remember a lot of places had a city and a beach. Believe it or not, that's my glaring hole in my passport bro resume. I have not did Cartagena. I know, right? I mean, how did that happen? I mean, I did Bogota like 2 times, and I didn't do Cartagena. So I'm going to fix that hole in 2025. Shout out to Ice City and the Willies, Ice City 510. Big boss, I am a Willie, believe it or not. I'm like the oldest Willie, right? I guess, I'm the mascot. I don't know. I'm the Unk Willie, but I am a Willie, believe it or not. Shout out to ICD 510. In the Willies, we have a trip to Cartagena for 420, April 20. They all weed smokers. Boss, I don't smoke, so I guess boss can get a whole lot of secondhand high smoke when I hang with the Willies. But the Willies are going to Cartagena April 20 for 420. So I'm a Willie. I haven't really did no Willie trips with them as a group, and I haven't did Cartagena. I know. So I'm finally gonna fill in that hole in my passport bro resume. So I'm gonna see what to do. Now, again, I'm Big Boss. I'm tapped in. I hear all the information pumped in, pipeline to me, just like I'm there. But I know it's a difference from actually being there. I get that. It's a difference from actually being there. But I get all the information pumped into me. So I pretty much 98% know the vibes of Cartagena. And from everything I understand that's being told to me, that's being showed to me and everything, Cartagena is basically Sosua 3.0. I said, oh my goodness. They said, well, the good thing is if you like Sosua, you'll love Cartagena. I said, what? I don't like Sosua. I said, oh my goodness. But I gotta go. So I'm gonna at least do a few days. I'm gonna do a few days there, and then I'm gonna take my ass to Bogota. Hello. So yeah, number 3 would be Colombia. I can't speak on Cartagena because I haven't been. I will be in April. But I have done Medellin. I've done Medellin and I've done Bogota. I like Bogota more than Medellin. The main reason I like Bogota because the prices are better. I tend to, I look for little hacks and stuff when I travel. I tend to mess with the Venezuelan community in Bogota. Bogota has a big area where they have a lot of the Venezuelans that come over from Venezuela to Colombia. They stay in Bogota. And so the area I go to, Santa Fe is lit. It's kind of grimy. It's a little dangerous, but it's safe. Again, that's a cartel-controlled area. They have their own cartels there. I met some people. I shook some hands, so I'm tapped in. So I'm good. I'm straight, and it's cool. It is what it is. Now, it's not like no tourist site shits to see. Really, it's in the city. Kind of a grimy part. It's hoodish, but it's lit. They have club. They have little bar. They have hella bars, clubs, just street action. It's very lively. It's like, wow. You know, a lot of people are not gonna like that, and I get that. A lot of people is not gonna like it, but I like that kind of shit. But I'm looking forward to see what Cartagena do. But I already know Cartagena is gonna be on that uppity shit. I'm just gonna do it anyway. So I'm gonna do it for the experience, and I could probably say the experience might be elevated because I'll be with the bros and whatnot. But once I do that and go there, I can report back on the hoes. And the hoes, it comes with, the main thing is the prices, man. The price is number one. That's number one. And then after the price, the very next thing, right, has to be the personality, the service, the attitude, right? What does it matter if it's a cheap price and it's a bad service, bad personality, bad attitude? If worse come to worse, sometimes you got to bite the bullet and pay a high price. But down there, you better get good service. But the crazy thing about it was, this is what normally happens. In my 6 years of traveling, I haven't been traveling for 15 and 20. I only traveled for 6. In 6 years, in 6, 7 countries, in like 18 or almost 20 different trips. What I noticed, remember I said when you travel, you have a Rolodex, the information to stack on. The ones who normally charge you more give you less service. That's normally how it is. 9.5 times out of 10. 9.5 times out of 10. As I rack my brain, I think it's a reason for that. But the ones who are high priced, the high sticker price, are normally going to give you less service. Make it make sense. Maybe because, you know, they think they bad, they think they baddies, and you should be happy to be in their presence. So just any little thing they do, you should be happy with it. You know, they know they the shit. You know, they westernized, they go on IG and all the shit, and so they want a lot of money. So that's normally how it goes. So here it is, you paying more money, and you're getting probably not trash service, but at best it's average. But it's average service for a premium price. When you go to get a chick with a reasonable price, that's appreciative, she's happy, she's appreciative, and you get a reasonable price and great service. Like, what the hell? You know, it's all about the service. It's about the price and about the service and the attitude and all the shit. So, I can, again, like to pull the kind of shit that I haven't been to yet. I don't know if I'm ever going to go there. But just like I was able to logically map out the Sasua-ism, the Punta Cana, I don't see how it's going to be much different for Cartagena. But I digress. I'm going to go. I'm going to see. I'm still going to turn up. I'm going to do what I do. But I don't think I'm going to like it a lot for the hoes. I probably would like it for the environment, going to the beach, going to the clubs, of course, being with the bros, kicking it, stuff like that. But if them hoes talking stupid prices, I'm not going to like it. But again, since it's Colombia, what I did here, one possible hack to make it bearable is go for what? The Venezuelan girls in Cartagena. Not the Colombians in Colombia, right? Not the Colombians in Colombia, the Venezuelans in Colombia. Go for the Venezuelans. The Venezuelans are normally going to be cheaper than the actual Colombians. They're going to be cheaper and more appreciative. Similar, okay. Remember when you have a Rolodex of information. Similar in DR. the Dominican chicks in DR versus the Haitian chicks in DR, right? The Haitian chicks in DR. Normally the Haitian chicks are going to be cheaper than the Dominican chicks, and they're going to be more appreciative. So even when you pay them less money and get better service. Same dynamic with the Dominicans, with the Haitians, Dominicans, and DR, the Venezuelans, Colombians, and Colombia. Very interesting how all this shit is kind of like the same. So number 3 is Colombia, man. Number 3 is the bottom of the list. So now we move up. Finally, we move up into something that's good, that I like. So I did Philippines one time, and I did Nairobi one time. See, these other countries I did 3 times, 5 times, 6 times, but the Philippines and Nairobi I only did one time. But still, I did it. One time is more than 0, right? And both of those places are still better than Colombia, DR, and Mexico. So between those two, I say the next one would be Philippines. Philippines is cool. Philippines is like a Thailand on I can't say steroids, opposite. Like a diet version of Thailand, like Thailand light. And so when you say Philippines, you're normally talking about 2 different main attractions. You're talking about the capital city of Manila, or you're talking about their hotspot, Angela City. So of course, I went to Angela City. Y'all know how I get down. And Angela City is lit. You know, they try to compete their best with Thailand, but it's like no, you can't compete. But they're cool for what they are. Shout out to him. No hate. You know, the little Philippine shit. They're cool for what they are. And then so I did about 5 days at Angel City, and then going back, we did like 1 full day of Manila. And so Philippines is cool. Philippines is a vibe. Philippines is where you start to get into more GFE. Obviously, they have the P4P, but the girls and the Filipino girls are very clingy. They're very clingy. Even the pay-for-play ones are clingy. Don't want to leave. You pay them one time, and you might end up with a girlfriend for half your trip, you know. And some guys like that. Again, every guy travels different. Some guys like that shit, right? But for me, I like to run them in the mouth. Now, I dealt with it on my one and only Philippine trip, because that was a pre-turn up before we went to Thailand. We stopped over in Philippines for like 5 days before we go to Thailand. And so I was trying to save my money for Thailand. So I got it after like second or third chick that I ran through in Philippines. The third one just kind of stuck with me. And I could have pushed her aside and went out hunting some more. I said, why not? So I kept her the rest of my trip. And so that was dope. And so as I talked to certain bros who go a lot of them go for that. So Philippines is dope, whereas you get a more GFE in the Philippines. And they got P4P too. They got their little version of Walker Street. They got their clubs. They got their little strips. They got all the shit. You know. But so guys already say that the Thailand women they all skinny. Cap, they're not. I mean, you guys saw Miss Thumper, right? Remember her from a long time ago? Y'all saw Miss Thumper or whatever. They're not. But if you say that about the Thai women, yeah, the Filipino women, like most of them, 90%, most tend to be little, right? They tend to be little. So if that's an issue, then yeah, they kind of don't go. Because where you can find thick Thai chicks, it's going to be a lot harder to find a thick Filipina chick. Now she'll probably be pretty in the face, little and all the shit, you know, clingy, GFE, all the shit. But thickness, I wouldn't go to Philippines for thickness. The Philippines is cool. Philippines is a vibe. And I can see pretty much every time I go to Thailand now, I can do a 1-2 punch. I can basically do a few days of Philippines on the front side and then Thailand. I always planned to do it like that years ago, but they had them strict ass COVID requirements. So it kind of cut Philippines off for me. But now Philippines is wide open. Philippines is cool, but it's like a way, way watered down Thailand. But again, like I say about Thailand, which is coming up on the list, Thailand is so overpowered. Thailand is like too much. It is. It shouldn't exist in this realm. You can cut Thailand up in probably 10 pieces, and each piece will still blow every place out the water. I know, but most of you niggas ain't gonna go because you're scared of a long flight. You're lazy. You go to the same place. You niggas ain't gonna go. I'm telling you, I've been six times. I've been there. I went 6 times. Thailand is crazy. Philippines is not that, but Philippines is cool though. And Philippines is still better than DR and Colombia, and especially Mexico. Shout out to Philippines. Been in one time. The next place, so that was 4. Number 5. The next place I also been in one time. The next place I also been one time was Kenya, Nairobi. My first time to Africa. So many places in Africa I wanted to go. You know, time and money wasn't an issue. Was I would do the whole world. I would have did Egypt. I would have did South Africa, Johannesburg, Durban, all the shit. I didn't do none of that. All I did was Kenya, Nairobi. Mostly because, again, there was already a presence of passport bros there. Even passport bros who don't call themselves passport bros, but they still passport bros. There was a presence of us there. So I went there. It was plug and play. To go to Kenya, it is a visa, but it's a quick little e-visa you can do on your phone. Like almost every other place I said is basically if it's a visa, it's like a generic visa on arrival, right? So it's kind of not a visa. You just go there. When you go there, you sign some shit. Sometimes you fill out shit on the plane. But no, for Kenya, East Africa, Kenya, you have to get a visa. It's an e-visa, but it's very simple. You go to the website, you put the app on your phone. It takes about 10 minutes. Basically, your name, your address, your occupation, your email, a selfie. You got to take a selfie of yourself, a picture of your passport, where the hotel or Airbnb you're going to stay, shit like that. Your flight information coming and going. Basically, this right there, I told you about 90% of what it is. Boom. Then it's like, I think it's like $30. It's like $30 processing fee. And it takes about 2 days. And it clears on the phone. And they will check it before you get on the flight. And they have to clear it before you get on your flight stateside. So even while you're in the States, in the airport, while you're waiting to be called, they will call you up to the desk and they will check that. And if you don't have that, you won't even leave the state. They won't let you on that flight from the States. So you have to have it. E-visa, $30, 10 minutes on your phone, whatever. Kenya, Nairobi. It was dope. I hooked up with Austin Holloman and a few more bros. I was there for about 2 weeks. What I would say about Kenya, Nairobi, similar to Philippines, GFE. Kenya, Nairobi is very big GFE, very big. They do have P4P. Yes, they do. But they're known for the GFE. The main way you're going to do the P4P or pay for play in Nairobi is normally through brothels establishments. Now, I will say this for the algorithm and whoever watching, prostitution is illegal in Kenya, believe it or not, right? Guess what? Prostitution is illegal in Thailand. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Prostitution is illegal in the Kingdom of Thailand. Okay. So what are we doing at Soy 6 then? They actually have reports. They have, I think it's yearly. Yeah, I think it is yearly. Yearly, a little task force goes out, all the clubs, all the bars, all the areas, and they make their report. We find no prostitution. Okay. I want to keep going back. So that's what they say. Prostitution is illegal in Thailand. Okay. Prostitution is illegal in Kenya. Technically, it's illegal. So that's that. So maybe that's why it's just a lot of GFE. It's more GFE than the P4P. That being said, they do have establishments. They have brothels. They do have brothels, casas, and establishments. And it's a dope vibe. It's a dope vibe. I can see why Austin likes it. Austin, he's killing it over there, man. You know, he's young, handsome, good looking, big YouTube channel. I hung out with Austin. Grown ass men was coming up to him, shaking his hand. Oh man, I love your YouTube channel. I love that you talk well about our country, blah, 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 blah. You know, I'm like, wow, he's like a little celebrity over there. So Austin is killing it. So Nairobi is cool as a GFE spot. And I really, really liked it. If y'all looked at my stuff, I didn't put out a lot of content about Nairobi. I have it. I still haven't put it out, being lazy. I'll put it out soon. Most I did lives, right? I did lives like, I think I did about 5 or 6, 7 lives. And I have different ladies every live I did. That's about the most I did. So, but I took content. When I went on the safari, the animals, I filmed that. I walked through a couple of city areas. I filmed that. I got like a haircut. I got like a shave out there, a good old shave. I had filmed that. My buddy was with me. He filmed me getting shaved. So I have footage. I just haven't put it out. So it was dope. It's fun. I like Kenya, Nairobi. Now, when I go back to Kenya, I'm going to hit up Mombasa, which is a city. Somebody said in the comment, I know it's a freaking city, but the beach town, the coastal beach town of Mombasa. Mombasa has more P4P. Where Nairobi, the big city Nairobi, is more GFE. Mombasa, the coastal beach town of Mombasa is more P4P. Yeah, and it's lit, you know. So I like it, and I definitely will go back. I had a lot of fun. It's a trip being in a country, you know, all the countries I just named before, you know, Mexico, Dominican Republic, even though Dominican Republic, you know, brown, black, and Colombia, whatnot, Philippines, going to a country where everybody looks like you. Like, really, if you don't open your mouth, you kind of look the same. Only thing that's going to be different, obviously, your dress, you know, you dress different, your swag is different. But, and it's English speaking, right? Obviously, their national language is Swahili, but almost everybody speaks English, especially in the city, especially in Nairobi. In the city of Nairobi, everybody speaks English. And it's a trip hearing these black people talk. Their English, they sound like UK, like British people. They were colonized. Kenya was colonized by the UK, by the Britons. So they speak with the King's English. And, you know, they speak kind of in a high pitch, high sounding voice, and high sounding, high pitch, like UK coming from black people. That's a trip. But it's cool though. It's cool. They embrace you for the most part. I like it. It's cool. So yeah, Kenya is cool. Kenya, Nairobi is good for the GFV vibes. I did not get a chance to go to Mombasa on the coast for the P4P. My buddy had came out there to help celebrate my birthday. Shout out to him. And when he came, I didn't want to leave him in Nairobi and go to Mombasa. And he wasn't trying to go to Mombasa. I figured he flew all that way from the States to come kick it with me, pull up for my birthday. And I just rocked out. My plan was to do half my time in Nairobi and the other half in Mombasa. But after like my second day, my buddy pulled up and we just ended up kicking it. I thought, oh man, but it was dope. So yeah, so Nairobi, so Kenya, Nairobi. After that, so that's what, number 5. So now number 6. So out of 7, we're going to go into 7. So out of 6 and 7 is Brazil and Thailand. Thailand and Brazil. And this, I go back to my original thesis. I've been saying this ever since I did both. Now, I did Thailand first in late 2019, like November 2019. And then 2 months later, I did Brazil in December. I did Brazil in January 2020. So I did Thailand November 2019, and I did Brazil January 2020. I did Thailand first and then did Brazil. And even then, from those first 2 trips, and I did subsequently, right? Subsequently, I did Thailand 6 times and Brazil 5. But even when it was 1 for 1, neck and neck, even way back then, I knew it was a problem. They're too evenly matched. Thailand and Brazil. You see how I got them right here. Thailand and Brazil, they're too evenly matched. There'd be like, if one is Superman, the other is like a Flash. No, not even a Flash. Maybe a Martian Manhunter. Someone who, like a Shazam. I would say that, yeah. If one is Superman, one would be like Shazam. They're almost too evenly matched. But the good thing is they complement each other too. Like if they were one country, it'd be over. If that was one country, it would be over. Because they complement each other. Because the very few things that Thailand lacks, and they don't lack a lot, the very few things Thailand lacks, Brazil got. So if they put them together, but if I had to put one over the other, oh man. For all around fun, like fun. Of course, the hoes. That's the main thing. It's the hoes. It's the women. The women, the hoes, the prices, the fun, the vibe, the even getting it free, even for me. The safety, right? Brazil is not the most safe. It is safe, but it's not the most safe. Thailand edges out at number 1. So that would mean Brazil number 2. And so Brazil be coming up at number 6 from the bottom. What I like about Brazil, man, Brazil is real. Now, when we talk about Brazil, almost every passport bro is talking about Rio de Janeiro. Not enough of us have went to Sao Paulo yet. I've been to Sao Paulo, and a few have been down to Bahia, Salvador Bahia. Shout out to Austin Holloman when he was in Brazil, and shout out to Fred, the homie Fred down there. But not a lot of passport bros have made it down that far. And really, once you get out of Rio, your English got to go up. Rio is not even the most biggest English-speaking place, believe it or not, and that's the tourist place. That's Rio de Janeiro is the tourist place, and their English is not like all the way up. So when you get out of Rio, you got to start knowing Portuguese. So a lot of passport bros haven't made it out of Rio. So again, yeah, some have ventured out. Some went. I know a few have went to Fortaleza, to Brasilia. Even Manaus. I plan to go to Manaus. But again, logically, common sense, like, it's got to make sense. When I'm talking about this in passport bro terms, we're talking Rio de Janeiro. We're not talking Fortaleza. We're not talking Salvador Bahia. We're not talking Brasilia. I'm talking Rio de Janeiro. That being said, man, that beach is world class. Ay, ay, ay. Woo! The things you see on that beach. The weather is pretty good, but it rains a lot there. Almost all the women, a lot of the women, their genetic code is like they're all thick. They're uniformly thick, and the bodies are well built. Within their culture is a workout culture. So the legs are thick and built and muscular. But ay, ay, ay. You have the whole litany of skin colors, right? Because you have straight, just like in Colombia, you have Afro-Colombians, and the Afro-Colombians, normally from the coast, from Cali and Barranquilla. You have Afro-Brazilians. And you really have Afro-Brazilians because they had a slave trade there. One of my trips, I think it was my second or third trip, shout out to Obi, the homie Obi, the Favela Brothers. He took me on a tour to one of the Brazilian slave ports, that was operated back in the day. It was shut down and turned into like a little museum area. But yeah, it had like memorial, it had like information, stuff on the wall, in Portuguese and in English. And that's where a lot of the African slaves came into Brazil. So Brazil imported a lot of slaves. Just like a lot of South Latin America, like the islands and whatever. A lot of Africans, slaves, went all through the Caribbean and America and Brazil. So Brazil had an active slave trade, like active. And there's racism, but there's strong colorism. There's colorism in Brazil. There's colorism. There's some racism still. They had a slave trade like America. They have straight black. It's been times I would, more so for the dudes, I would see some of the brothers, the black dudes, they have tattoos and all this stuff. I go to speak to them and they start talking that Portuguese. I say, oh man, similar, but okay. Like when I was in Nairobi. When I was in Nairobi, we all look the same, but everybody talk English. Only thing in Kenya, Nairobi, they talk with British English. I'm in Brazil. I see black brothers, black like me, browner than me, a little lighter than me, darker than me, brothers, and they start talking that Portuguese. There's only Portuguese. I said, oh man. So yeah, that's dope. So I'm saying you have the whole litany, almost like here. You have all your different shades. You have your dark ones, your light brown ones, your light skinned ones, your nano white ones, everything in between with the curly hair and the green eyes. I said, ay, 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 with thick, big bodies. I said, oh man. They service is very good. And so now we get into the only two places pretty much, Brazil and Thailand, where they honor the time. So for their working class girls, when they say an hour, they mean a freaking hour. Oh, and Nairobi too. Okay. Unlike the Dominican Republic, when they say an hour, they mean one nut. They say an hour, but they don't mean, that's false advertising. They're lying. That's false advertisement. But in Brazil, when they say an hour, they mean 1 hour. If you finish your business in 20 minutes, they're there for 40 minutes. Probably give you a massage. If you can get it back up, round 2. Yeah, so that's dope. That right there is worth the price of admission, because you figure with an hour, if you can get 2 pops in an hour, you might be good for half a day. Now, brother like me, I need a lot. But for the average bro, you might be good for like a day, half a day. That might be the price of admission. When the chicks are honest, or at least they're honorable. They're honorable and they honor the time. If they quote you an hour, you get 1 hour. You don't just get one pop, and then they running for the door. So yeah, Brazil is lit. The women are beautiful, different shades. You know, from because they had slavery. So from dark skin all the way to white, every shade in between, with the curly hair and the green eyes, thick bodies. They honor the time. Brazil is lit. You know, some safety concerns. You got to watch yourself. They do now. They are starting to use that scopamine, and there they just call it something else. There they call it Good Night Cinderella, where it's a substance they put into your drink or whatnot. So you got to be careful. That's not is not to Colombia Medellin levels yet, but it is starting to raise its ugly head there. Again, these chicks are evolving, man. They're learning from each other. They're learning from the internet. They're learning from social media. They're learning from each other. A lot of these chicks, once they get their money up, they have passports. They travel too, especially within a lot of them. A lot of them don't come here to the States, whatnot, but they travel to other Latin American countries, right? So it's a lot of information being traded. So safety is a thing in Brazil, right? It is a thing. But that being said, I love Brazil. Brazil is dope. I had planned to go to Brazil in February for Carnival 2025. But the way my bank account set up, and I heard this before, and now I'm witnessing it myself in real time as I'm trying to find booking and lodging. They said during Carnival time, 2 things happen. One, all available bookings kind of disappear, you know, especially from hotels first. Hotels are gone. And I'm not even an Airbnb dude, but of course I would do an Airbnb when I have to. Airbnbs are starting to go away, and a few Airbnbs that's still there, ridiculous prices, like ridiculous. I'm like, what? For 2 weeks? For 10 days? For 13 days? $3,300 for 10 days? What? That's more than what, $300 a day? Yeah, $300 a day at 10 days at 3. Yeah. I was like, wow. So I was told that for years and years. So all my time of going to Brazil, I did Brazil 5 times. I never did a carnival. With my 5 times. So I said, this time I finally want to do a carnival. And I always was hearing, right, that was be careful. Carnival, man, is everything goes up. The prices go up. But the biggest thing is trying to find a place to stay, because everything is rented out. Everything is sold out and is poached. Anything that's left over, they're going to like triple, quadruple the price. I'm seeing that. So my fingers still crossed. If I can't find something reasonable, I might miss this carnival. And that being the case, since I was planning to go somewhere around the carnival time, which is February, if I don't go there, I will go somewhere else. And where I'm thinking, you know, this is not no surprise type channel, should I tell you, because I might change my mind anyway. I'm thinking Lima, Peru. I'm thinking about doing Lima, Peru. Remember when I said you got to switch shit around? I easily can go back to one of the other places that I've been to. But I said in 2025, we need to start like branching out, going to other places. Stop going to the same place over and over and over and over and over, you know. So I've been to places 6 times and 5 times, you know. There's no reason for me. I can say that. There's no reason for me to go to one place 15 times and there's other places I haven't been to yet. So you kind of break it up. So if I ultimately don't do Carnival in February, I will in Brazil in February time, since I already had that time kind of slotted. I'm looking at a Lima, Peru for now. That's penciled in. It's in pencil. It's not in ink. It's in number 2 pencil. So we'll see. But yeah, Brazil. Brazil is real, man. Brazil is real. Like I said, the only thing is there's some safety issues there. It is. There's little bit of racism, but the racism really doesn't affect a Black American, especially if they hear that English coming out your mouth. They know better. There is some colorism because they had slavery. That being said, the women are thick. The women are fine. All different shades, curly hair, green eyes, well-built bodies, mannerable, honorable. Oh, man, you can't beat it. You can't beat it. Brazil. Then we get to number one, which is the seventh country. Yeah, so I guess I just talked about 7 countries. Brazil being 6, Thailand being 7, but being number one because I started from the bottom and worked my way. I guess Thailand is number one, man. Thailand is king for now. Obviously, I have a lot more places to go to. Again, I said I'm going to start branching out. It's going to be hard pressed for any place to ever beat Thailand. Thailand has so much of an advantage. It has a home field advantage that's ridiculous. In the whole game, in the P4P world, in the sex game, Thailand is a superpower that almost can't be touched. One street of Thailand, Pattaya, one street can knock out whole countries' red light districts. One street can knock out a whole country. And that's just one street of one city. It's ridiculous. And it's so compact and dense, and there's layers and layers, and Thailand is ridiculous. Thailand should not. I said this like I think on my first or second trip to Thailand, and it was a bar. For years, people kept bringing it up back in my face. I had said I had likened Thailand to that old Narnia movie, The Chronicles of Narnia. I think it was the second one, the warlock in the cupboard and the wizard or whatever. When the little girl, she went through the dresser, that big wooden dresser. When she walked through the dresser, she on the other side, she ended up in the land of Narnia. I said, going to Thailand is like going through that dresser in the Chronicles of Narnia, man. It's like a whole nother world. It's like it shouldn't exist. Thailand is like it shouldn't exist on this plane, on this realm. Like it should be in the multiverse somewhere. That's how lit it is. But it's kind of relatively safe because it is so far. A lot of guys are scared to go on that flight because they do have lady boys there, and they do. They have lady boys there. They have lady boys. Because they have lady boys, a lot of guys are scared that the lady boys are going to jump on them like zombies, chase them down. The lady boys are going to attack them and chase them down aggressive. They think the lady boys are going to come at them aggressive and attack them. A lot of guys think all the Thai girls are skinny, like they're all skinny. Every Thai girl is skinny like a skeleton in rice and noodles. That's so, it's a lot of ignorance, right? And I get it, from TV. It's a lot of ignorance a lot of people have. So that ignorance has kept a lot of brothers away. But slowly, brothers are making their way out there. Maybe because of Zoom to Thailand. Shout out to my little big brother, Richie Mac Zoom. Just like how QB passport flexing to get some of the tourist budget for Mexico. I think Richie Mac zoomed to Thailand to get some of the tourist budget for Thailand. Oh man, my bad. I didn't think I had any super chats, so I didn't even have it on the comment tab after I was switching my music, and something told me to go to the comments, and oh man, my bad. I have a few super chats. I thought that kind of would light up even if I didn't. Okay. Anyway, that being said, let's pay some bills, man. Now, these are the comments that I will read. Shout out to Razor Rays with the $5. Merry Xmas, boss. Shout out to Razor Rays. Thank you. Merry Christmas to you. So I've been running my mouth over 2 hours. It's 10:14 my time. So shit, it's 2 in the morning for you guys. So yes. And I don't know when you sent this. My bad. I had it on another screen. So you probably sent this maybe about an hour ago. But shout out to Razor Rays. You're still watching? Thank you. Shout out to Razor Rays for the $5, $2 WG, which is, oh man, see, you asking questions. My bad. Which is more cost efficient? Asia, Africa. So WG, if you're still watching, if you're still tuning in after 2 hours of Boss running his mouth, now I answer your question. And this is the proper way, especially if you have a question and you inquire my knowledge, it should be with a super chat. And the cheapest super chat is $2, which you did. So thank you. Asia, man. 1,000%. Even a flight. My most expensive flight to date has been that Kenya trip. That flight costed more than every Asia, Thailand flight I ever took. Now, that being said, I'm cheap. I don't fly first class. I normally don't even fly business class. I fly regular, cheap economy. As big as I am, right? 6'2", 270 pounds. As big as I am, I fly regular economy. Half the time I get lucky and they put me in the emergency row seat because I'm big. They put me there. They say, "Oh, you big and strong. You can help. You can help just in case. Just in case, just in case. Just in case a plane go down, you can help." So almost half the time I'm put in an emergency row seat, but I pay for regular economy, just regular economy. And most of my Thai flights are less than $1,000 from here in California. I get it. Flying from different points in the States changes the price. But a lot of times, the East Coast guys, you guys got good prices over us California guys. But I do get it. And I know people flying from the DMV, from Washington, D.C., they got shitty prices, shitty flights and shitty prices. So I get it. Different places in the States, the cost is going to vary depending on where you're flying out from. So you got to take that with a grain of salt. I'm flying out of San Francisco most of the time. So from Frisco to Thailand is always less than $1,000. $900, $850, $880, $940. It's normally less than $1,000. Frisco to Thailand, about $1,000. When I went to Kenya, $1,400. A little over $1,400. I never paid that in no flight in all my 6 years of flying. I know people pay $2,300, $2,500 for a flight. They're normally like in business class, because I think first class is like 5 or 6 G's. Shout out to TaylorMade. I remember TaylorMade Dream said he paid $6,000, $6,000 for one way. I guess from DR to Thailand. $6,000 for first class. I said, ooh wee, bless your heart. Even if I had it, I feel funny coming off the money for that. You know how many holes, how many chicas I can get for that? Oh man. So most cost efficient all the way around. Asia were more cost efficient than Africa. The flight out there, once you're there, the food. Now I would say food prices, then things get cheap again. Food and lodging is about the same. As I'm racking my brain, especially the local food, or if you go to a restaurant, the local food and the lodging is going to be about the same. The difference will be like the flights, flying to Asia, flying to Africa, the flights. And then the biggest difference is what? The hoes, the females, the chicas, the P4P. I'm going to tell you this. And this is what the homie GMT, shout out to GMT Travel, told me. And I saw once I got there. When money is involved, right? And sometimes it's not, believe it or not. Sometimes it's not. There's a lot of GFE. There's a lot of GFE in Nairobi, right, in Africa. But when money is involved, it's going to be more. I'm like, wow, what's up with that? And that's been consistent. That was my personal observation. That's what I saw. So even in that, even within the P4P, the P4P is still cheaper in Asia than in Africa. Then as I talked to others, they all kind of said the same thing, and this expanded out. They said all through Africa, up and down, Tanzania, other places, South Africa, they said the P4P is up there. I said, wow. So yeah, P4P is not cheap in Africa. It can be high and super high. And if you have a good game, good isms, good negotiation, you can get okay prices, but it's not cheap. P4P is not cheap in Africa. You think it would be, right? Shout out to them, whatever. You think it would be, but it's not. The only way that you can maybe halfway call it cheap is if you go to a brothel or a casa. And just like most of these places, that's only because that is set to the local men's standards. And that's kind of high for them, but it's nothing to us. It's pennies to us. When you go to a brothel, a casa, when you go to an establishment, the establishment has a set price. It costs this much for 30 minutes. It costs this much for an hour. The brothel has a set price. But when you're messing with a freelancer who's in a nightclub, who's in a bar, who's trapping off her phone, who's trapping off a dating app, when you mess with a freelancer, she makes her own price. And that's why she called her freelance. The freelancer makes her own price. And once she know you American, oh man, run them pockets. So yeah, to answer your $2 question, I know I over-answered it for $2. Most cost-efficient is Asia. But they both are a vibe. Kings and dreams. Merry Christmas, big boss. Team Medi. I know. You're one of the Medi guys. But shout out to you. You own property. I'm sure you said this on your channel before, so I'm not like putting your business out there. You own property out there. Shout out to you. You are a property owner. You own Kings and Dreams owns property in Medellin. Watch it, man. Watch it. So, of course, shout out to you. Guys love it. They love it, man. They love it, man. They love them some Medi. I do not like Medi. No. But shout out to you. Got another one. Turn back our music up very slightly. Up or down? I thought it was too loud. I actually thought it was too loud. And I was kind of conscious of that because after I go back and watch the stream, it's too late. I run my mouth for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. I run my mouth for 5 hours, blah blah blah, talking. And I go back and watch the stream, then the music too loud and I barely hear myself. You kind of can't take it away. So, but yeah, I'm glad you're liking a little background music, man. Oh, damn. Turned it off. Okay, damn. Clicking so much stuff when I'm running my mouth. Where the Ric Flair drip at, man? Well, shit. Running my mouth. You're going to listen to something else. All right. Turn that up a little bit. But any other super chats? I see some other questions in there, but they're not super chats. But you know what? I'll run through some of them. Why not? T, what's up, big boss? What's up, T? Whoever T is. Genji Monogatari. Oh man, how you been, man? Run them pockets. Yeah, they're gonna run them pockets, man. When they hear that English, they're gonna run them pockets, man. Hell no, they can stay home. I want to keep all the action for myself. What you talking about? One street, true that. Yeah, that's right. If you been, yeah, you know. If you been. Am I lying? If you been. Thailand. One street can knock out whole countries. It's crazy. Their sex industry, their red light, their sex tourism, or whatever the hell you want to label it. I would say a good analogy is about as strong as America's military to the rest of the world. I was looking at something. It was crazy. I didn't know how strong our military was. Shout out to the military. They say American military, America by itself is stronger than more than half of the world's combined. Like, wow. There's only a few that can kind of go toe to toe with us. Like, and that would be basically just Russia and China. And even then, the nukes even the playing field, right? That's why they got nukes. Russia and China are the only ones who can give us a sweat. We'll break a sweat. Basically, everybody else outside of Russia and China, America's military is stronger than everybody's combined. That's like some Superman shit of the Justice League. I always tripped on the Justice League. As a kid growing up, the Justice League, you want to see all the different heroes, but basically the Justice League is basically Superman. I mean, he's as fast as Flash. He's strong. I guess you could say Batman is smart, but the Justice League is basically Superman and his friends, right? That's how American military is. It's America military versus the whole world outside of Russia and China. Switch that analogy to Thailand's sex tourism, sex economy. Their sex economy tourism is stronger than most of the world's combined, put together. Knocks them out, smacks them like Superman. And you do some super friends. You some super friends in the league, but this is Superman, and you the super friends. You have a power, you have this power, you can run fast, you can teleport, you can do that. But I basically have all your powers and stronger than you. That's Thailand. And guys don't want to go. So that's a blessing and a curse. That's a blessing and a curse because that means it won't get messed up like Pattaya as fast. Oh, man. Iggitty. Yes, sir. For to find out, I was just in Bangkok and Pattaya in October. Go Navy. Oh, that's what's up, man. Thank you for your service. And Merry Christmas. Okay. Yeah, I did my birthday. My birthday is October Halloween. I tell everybody my birthday is Halloween, October 31st. So I did Halloween Pattaya 2022. Yeah. And then my very first trip to Thailand was in November. In 19 and 20, I was ripping and running, boy. Because in 2019, I did Halloween in DR, Sasua. Because I did Halloween 2018, Sasua, Halloween 2019, and Halloween 2020. Anyway, October 31st, I was in DR. Like 3 weeks later in November, I was in Thailand, November 2019. Yeah. There's a trip in Pattaya. They celebrate Halloween. All the girls dress up like witches and warlocks and mummies and stuff like that. And even the girly bars have like haunted house themes. That's dope. Thailand is a vibe, man. Thailand is crazy. Yeah, but being so far on the other side of the world, it takes about 18 to 20 hours to get there. It again, depending on where you're flying from, right? Your individual flight time will vary. If you're flying from California, flying from New York, flying from in the middle. God damn, you flying from the middle of America. That gotta suck. At least if you got to be on the coast, East Coast, West Coast, Cali, New York, Florida. You know, even the Alabama guys, you know, the Georgia guys, I guess the Texas, yeah. You flying from the middle, you flying from middle America, man. Shit. That's probably an extra leg of a flight. But in general, right? In general, it takes about, just think about, it takes a day to get to Asia. It takes a day. Not quite 24 hours, but it's going to be like 19 hours, 18 hours, 20 hours. So basically, it takes a day to get to Asia. And that's a whole day. And some guys only go on trips for like 5 or 6 days. So in their mind, they're calculating that's going to cut down their trip. Hell, even if you do 2 weeks. I remember my very first trip to Thailand was 7 days. Oh man, that shit went so fast. Right? I'm glad I went. People say, man, if I go that far, I gotta stay a month. That always crack me up when I hear people say it. I mean, I get the sentiment. I get it. Right? You know, you can say that. And if I fly that far, I gotta stay a whole month to justify going that far. No. You go that far, you stay a week. You know, it is what it is. But yeah, my first time in Thailand was 7 days. Remember, I did 2 days Bangkok, 5 days Pattaya. And my 2 days Bangkok, I did it like a sandwich. I did first day Bangkok, last day Bangkok. Remember, because you fly in Bangkok, the international city. So you fly into Bangkok, you fly into Bangkok. So I flew in Bangkok, say the first day. Then I did 5 days Pattaya. Then the very last day I did Bangkok and left. Lit. And that's probably how I'm going to do Kenya. And I go back, because remember, a lot of these countries are similar. They have the big city, the big international city, then they have their little beach town. So I'll probably do that with Kenya. And next time I go to Kenya, fly into Nairobi, chill in Nairobi for a day or two, go to Mombasa, then come back to Nairobi. City, beach town. I like the beach towns. Shout out to you, Mondra Kenji Lugari. Just join. If you can retire right now in any country, what would it be? And what's the biggest problem you've seen there? Okay. You gonna bossy thing. What country would I retire to? And then what's the problem? Well, you're right, because no place is perfect, even here. So whatever country I go to, that I choose to go to, is also going to have problems. But the thing is, obviously, if I indeed chose it, then I mean, I kind of either overlook the problem or I try to come up with something to overcome the problems. Yeah, it'll be between those two, man. It'll be between Brazil and Thailand, man. Brazil and Thailand. One thing I don't like about Thailand is, as a foreigner, and Philippines is like this too. As a foreigner, you can't own land. Technically, it's smart for them. On their side, it's smart. I get it, right? I don't know why America let anybody buy up all kind of land. That, in a wrong situation, that can be very detrimental if you allow certain countries, I won't name, to just buy up big swaths of land. They could put a military base there, I guess. They buy it. I don't know. But in Thailand, you can't own land. So you would have to be married, and then your wife, she will own it, and she will be like 51% partner, and you'll be the 49. It won't even be 50-50. It'd have to be 51-49. So you better choose smart, right? You said fit, feminine, friendly, submissive. Yeah, okay. You better choose right. And so that's just a recipe. For me, that's a recipe for disaster. Some guys make it work. Shout out to them. I don't play them kind of games. No. I don't like how you can't own land in Thailand and you can't own land in Philippines. You can own land in Brazil. You can buy land. So yeah. Now Brazil problem is crime, more or less, right? It's not the most safest place. I think it's about as safe as America, and that's not saying a lot. but in America, you can have a gun, well, depending on what state, you know. Yeah. So if you were to like really live in Brazil, any place you're gonna move to, you're gonna have to do a whole extra lot of deep research. You're gonna have to do research. You gotta do research every little iota. But you gotta do a lot of research, and you just gotta really plan accordingly and really have a plan. And just move smart. Move smart. But again, anything can happen. Any place and time, anything can always happen. But you have to move smart. But it still pretty much would be Brazil for me. All right, just run it. I have not. I don't really plan to go either. I don't. I mean, if certain situations have me end up there, why not? But I have no desire to go to Costa Rica or even Panama, really. I have no desire to go to places that I know the prices are high. That's like, no. I'm only doing that with Cartagena is because, again, and that's what I'm saying. And this is why I can never say never, because it could be certain situations that kind of force my hand. I'm going for other reasons, right? Whether I'm just going to Costa Rica on a solo trip or going for a vacation trip to Costa Rica for the chicas, for the girls, for the P4P. No. So I'm doing Cartagena largely because I never did it before, and I'll be going with the bros, I'll be going with the homies, I'll be going with the Willies. The Willies are doing a group trip. Ice City and the Willies are doing a group trip in Cartagena in April, and I'm a Willie, so I'll be going with them. So and I never been. That's so it's like two birds in one stone. I've never been to Cartagena, and so I get to mark it off the list, and I can go with the bros. I can go hang out. So certain situations, and again, that's probably what it would take for me to go to Sasua. So I can never say I would never go to Sasua again. There are certain situations that exist that can force my hand to go, right? To say like one of my other buddies, like so my brother didn't want to go. To say if finally one of my knucklehead buddies from Oakland finally get a freaking passport and want to go somewhere quickly, I could see taking one of my buddies for their first time. I could see basically chaperoning, babysitting them, taking them to the DR, Sasua. I could see that. So I'm saying it would have to be something tailor-made. I wouldn't just go on my own nilly-willy, like with my free money, my free time, for my enjoyment. I'm not going to Sasua. Fuck that. There's a whole lot of other places I would go. I won't go to Sasua for myself. No, I could spend my money better. But there are certain situations I can see myself going to a Sasua, right? Like the same reason why I'm going to Cartagena. I'm going to Cartagena because I'm going with the group. So there are reasons I can see maybe ending up in a Costa Rica or Panama, but on my own, I won't go. I don't go where the prices are high. Yeah, not quality, a Haitian lower price. You have me say something like that online, right? Online in front of everybody. But no, not even. Like I say, actually, a lot of times you get better service. You get a lower price and better service, better appreciation, better attitude. So a lower price and better service. Did you say lower quality? But the Dominican chicks, most of them, not all, but mostly by phenotype, the Dominican chicks are basically like light-skinned. They're light-skinned black girls who speak Spanish. They don't think they black. Me no black, me Dominican. Oh yeah. So a lot of the Dominican girls tend to be light-skinned, light brown, caramel. They're light-skinned black girls. The Haitians tend to be almost like African light type, so they're darker. That's about the only difference. I don't mean that they're not pretty in the face, nothing. They don't have nice hair, long hair, pretty in the face, bodies, nothing. But on average, the Haitian will be dark skinned. The Haitian is dark skinned like an African, and the Dominican is light skinned like a mulatto. That's the only real difference. But other than that, you get a lot of better. I show you right, BBRG. I love the low common background music. Right on. Yeah, that's what I do, man. That's what I do. Hold on. This Zed. Well, the Haitians go for less. Well, what you'll find, and I'm answering this question just to put it out there. Like I know you be trolling, Zed. You be trolling, but whatever. But I'm answering the question in good faith. I'm just answering it across the board. What you normally find in places is trip, like I say, once you have a Rolodex, once I start going to different places, and I could be in a whole different country. I'm going to different places, but a lot of the things are similar. As I'm noticing, as I build my Rolodex, I'm going to different places. That you have your indigenous locals who live there, whatever said country. So say Colombia. You go to Colombia, you have the Colombians, the Colombian women, Colombian workers, Colombian sex workers. You have the Colombian women in Colombia, but then you have the Venezuelans in Colombia, right? Not saying that they're illegally. Maybe they're refugees. They're definitely immigrants because that's not their home country, right? But you have Venezuelan immigrants in Colombia. So the girls of that country are going to demand a certain price, but the immigrants can come in at a lower price. They are not, it is what it is. The immigrants come in at a lower price. So again, like the Rolodex, the same in the Dominican Republic. That island, Hispaniola, half of the island is Dominican Republic. The other half is Haiti. They share an island, right? And many times Haitians come into the Dominican Republic side as an immigrant. The Haitian immigrant women would take less than the national Dominican women. So that's normally the dynamic. The Dominican women of Dominican Republic of that same country have a certain standard, but the immigrants come in and would take less. Do you understand? That's what it is. Number one. Going all the way back. That title, huh? Yeah, man. And I knew already. But just for my own self, right before I finished typing it and set it up, I did a search my own self and saw how many titles on YouTube had ho in it. Now, a lot of it had H-O. I'm talking about in the title, not even the thumbnail, in the title. Someone had it straight ho, H-O-E. Ho, ho, in the context. And I just scrolled and I saw. I said, YouTube better not say shit to me. Do not single me out. Don't single me out. Don't play on my face. I'm scrolling. They got hoes, bitches. Now, true, a lot of them are attached to like a rap song. Like rappers just upload. Nowadays they put all this stuff on YouTube too and Spotify. A lot of it are like titles of a rap song, but it's spelled all the way out. Bitch. bitch, hoe, all on YouTube. So don't say shit to me. Don't say shit to me. I know a lot of guys in our space don't talk like this, like in their titles and thumbnails. No. But I'm Big Boss, man. I'm Big Boss O-Leeny. YouTube better not say shit to me. Oh man, Africa. I have a feeling he's gonna say Africa. Not for number one, man. Africa is a vibe though. Africa is definitely a vibe, and I'm going. I only did one is again, right? I feel funny saying that again, like the GTA map, and you only play for a couple hours because you got to go to sleep, go to work. You didn't even get off the block that good. You didn't even open up 3% of that map, right? So I can't say that, but I'm glad I did put a pinky toe in Africa. I did. I can say that. A lot of bros ain't did that. A lot of bros ain't went to Thailand or Brazil. Ay. But I did roast the waters. I did. I put my pinky toe in Africa and went to one country, and I'm glad I did that. So it takes that stigma off. I already did it, so now I can go back, and I want to do more countries. Like I said, I want to do Egypt. I want to go back to Kenya. Definitely want to do South Africa. And there's other countries in Africa I want to do. Now I'm not going to sit here and just make a wish list because it is what it is. We shall see. We shall see. But the long bucket list, Cape Verde, Tanzania, Rwanda, Uganda. It's just so much, man. It's just so much. So I'm glad I at least went, right? I went to one country, Kenya. I did it. I got on the board. At least I scored 1 point on the board, at least. 1 point for Africa on the board. More to come. Whatever that's about. Merry Christmas, everyone. What's up, Garfield Lawson? I'm going through the comments. I'm about to land this plane. Yoga. I saw you earlier. I saw you. I'm coming back, Zed. I'm coming back. Okay? I leave everywhere. Shit. I leave everywhere. I can't stay. I can't stay. The most I can do is my longest trip so far ever. It's been about 3 weeks. Yeah, about 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks. I did a 3-week in Brazil. On one of my 5 times, I don't even know. Probably my middle trip. My third, I might have been my third trip. My third Brazil trip was like 3 weeks. And I did a 3-weeker for Thailand. I haven't even been nowhere a month yet. Hopefully one day I can put down roots and I could be somewhere from 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 6. I know like a lot of these countries, like you only can be there if you don't have a residency, you only can be there so long out of the year, so many months out the year. And I think the standard is about 6 months. 6 months out of a year. Some places is 3 months out of a year. Brazil, 6 months. You cannot do 6 months in one day. If you get caught doing 6 months in one day in Brazil, they'll ban you for a couple of years. It's called overstaying. Thailand is very similar. You get banned. So you got to keep it pushing. You got to keep moving. You can't get too comfortable. Unless you get the certain visa, certain citizenship, certain whatever. If it's just regular, you got to keep it moving. A lot of these countries, man, they'll tell you on the front side, they want to see an exit ticket. They don't want ain't no one way. You go in, fly to the country, go to the airport, you go to the immigration. They want to know when you leaving. You ain't even got to the country good. That's like you go to somebody's house. Okay, that's good you here. How long you staying? No. Can I relax first? You ain't gotta get at me like that, auntie. I'm just saying, nigga. How long you gonna be here? So I can know how much food you gonna eat up. Yeah. So some countries they don't play that. You gotta have an exit. They want to see an exit ticket as soon as you get there, and they want to know how long you're gonna be there. And they do have it where you can extend a couple times, but it's not on them. If you extend too much and you still extend past your time, then you just banned. So no, I had to leave, but guess what? I'm coming back. In the words of Arnold Schwarzenegger the Great, I'll be back. Come with me if you want to live. You should come back to the motherland. I will. This year. Next year, 2025. I'm going back. I'm going harder too. I'm going harder. I definitely will. Damian Ward, big ball. Merry Christmas, champ. Hey, yo, I'm in Nairobi right now, my G. Niash. Oh, man. Man. I know what you're seeing. That was crazy, man. That was crazy. When you see me trip like that, I'm looking for other songs. And the crazy thing, I got so many. I just get lost in scrolling. Looking for a song. I'm supposed to be talking. I'm looking for a track. Why you wanna play a hate? Why you wanna play a hate on the boss? That's right. Yes, and my taco. Shout out to the chick. She was hella cool. In Nairobi. You taught me that word, matako. Matako is Kenyan for ass. Niash is Nigerian for ass. I didn't know that. I thought it was South African for ass. Because the first context I heard it, I knew it meant ass, like in Africa, right? But I heard like it in videos referencing South African women, and South African women have bodies from what I see online. I haven't went yet, but I see online. So I thought Niash was ass in South African. But no, Niash is ass in Nigerian. And Matako is ass in Kenya. Yeah. That's almost a culture shock too. Everybody got ass out there. It's crazy. The old ladies got ass. The young ones got ass, Paul. Skinny ones got ass. They all got ass. The ugly ones got ass. The cute ones got ass. The pretty ones got ass. Yeah, you get it, the tall ones got ass. The short ones got ass. This is all ass. It is crazy. You really have to see it to believe it. So again, that's one of them things that, you travel so you can see stuff for your own self, your own tool. You can hear it all day. You can hear it. You can even see videos and shit like that online, as a precursor, as a warm-up. Before you go, you have to see something, right? But it's nothing like when you get boots on the ground and you're physically there, boots on the ground, in that heat, you're walking around, you're hearing the sights, the sounds, the traffic, you're interacting, you see, you look around. Ass, and more ass. Woo. Crazy. Now that you won't see in Asia. That you won't see in Asia. Man, I hate to say it. You don't quite see that in Brazil. Oh, man. You see close to it, though. Oh, man. You can't go wrong, man. Spice of life. Again, once you go to different places, you build a catalog, a Rolodex in your mind, and you can flip through it. Some of you guys only been to like 2-3 places. So that's the thing. You have You have big, giant, I won't even say blind spots. It's just omission. It's just not there. It's just not there. I have a gap. I have a blind spot in all my travels in my like 7 countries. In my 7 countries over 6 years, 18 trips. I skipped out. I basically skipped out on Passport Bro Cartagena. Right? It's not technically a blueprint you're supposed to follow, but a lot of us follow some type of blueprint. And my blueprint over 6 years, 5 or 6 years, I should have hit Cartagena. Maybe not Panama or Costa Rica, but I should have, or even Cali, Barranquilla, but I should have did Cartagena. Cartagena. I didn't. I think a lot of that is because I got turned off with Medellin. I didn't like Medi. That's the real reason. I got turned off with Medi, and so I didn't really care for Colombia. And when I went back, I went to Bogota, and I went to Bogota specifically for Santa Fe. I wanted the Santa Fe district region because I saw a lot online, and then a lot of stuff. The bros in the groups, right? Shout out to Dr. Ed, Dr. Cream Pie Ed. Oh man, Dr. Cream Pie Ed, Dr. Bogota, real life doctor. I know his real name. I forgot his real name. I wouldn't say it right in the same context anyway. That's his nickname he go by. But a real, actual medical doctor out of New York who's a hardcore monger. I met him in real life in BR Sasua. He's Mr. Bogota. He's the real reason I went to Bogota. Man, Bogota is real. I did Bogota twice. So even when I go back to Colombia to do Cartagena for a few days, I'm gonna do Cartagena for like three or 4 days. Then I'm going right back to Bogota, Santa Fe. Play in the mud. Oh man, the hood is where it's good, man. Get the best prices. Mr. Doctors. Are you saying hello, man? You get the best prices in the hood, man. The hood, man. You playing with the bossy boss, man. When I get quiet, remember, you know what I'm doing. When I get quiet, my eyes start squinting. Just slow, man. I'm changing the track. When I get quiet and I start squinting, I'm looking for another song. You know what's good in the hood, man? Do you know that? In the ghetto. The ghetto. Shout out to Too Short, Oakland. No, they don't trip like that. Thank God. You don't need a round trip ticket for DR. DR, maybe because they so close to America. Well, it's kind of backwards, right? You would think like, but they don't trip like that. Cool. DR is so laid back when it comes to that. Yeah, there are some pros and cons in dealing with Dominican Republic. You don't need a return flight for Dominican Republic, to my knowledge. But for Thailand, you absolutely do. You need a return. They need to see it. Return your ass to sender. How long are you gonna be? How long you stay? Hurry up and buy it. How long you gonna be in my country, nigga? Yeah, most of these countries they want to see a return flight. Now there is a way, Well, there's that. I kind of won't say that online, but also I say what some people do. I can say this part because this is a real thing, right? Some people feel if they buy it separate, it's nothing to call the airline and cancel it. Yeah, so you have it to show them, to show the authorities. And hey, depending on the rules and conditions when you bought it, under what conditions you bought it. If you bought a refundable ticket, if not even refundable or even flexible, you push off the date. But a lot of times they still want to see it. They want to see something. You ain't just pulling up with all your luggage like you going to the uncle's house and you just gonna be there indefinitely. No, nigga, there's an end date. When are you leaving? How long you gonna be here? But you can show them, and then there's nothing to call the company, the airline. Hey, you know what? XYZ. And I hear there's a service you can use. There's a certain service you can use for very cheap, like because it's not like whatever, so they don't charge a lot. For very cheap, pennies on the dollar, there's a service you can use that would get you an exit ticket. Hit my IG if you want to know about that. So there's ways around it, man. There's ways around all this shit, man. There's ways around all this shit. But it's good in the hood, man. Like Bruce Willis said, you've been back enough. What movie you said that in? You've been back enough. I know Daddy said it. Shout out to Bruce Willis, man. He was a good action star for a while. Too bad he got Alzheimer's. I always say that word wrong. Alzheimer's. And he didn't seem like that old to get Alzheimer's. But, I'll be forgetting shit. And I'm only 53. But Bruce Willis, shout out to Bruce Willis, man. He was in some doozies. Die Hard 1, 2, 3, 4, 15, all the Die Hards and all the action movies. Shout out to Bruce Willis. Whoever produced Dustin Disgusted was in their bag. Oh yeah, the Click E40 and the Click shit. That's what's up. Yeah, right? You take a moment to appreciate. You know what I'm saying? This is the instrumental, of course, but yeah. The ghetto, something about the ghetto. Yeah, it's good in the hood, baby. I thought you knew. Well, depending on who you ask. But everybody consistently says, like, number one, this ultimate number one would be Uganda. Would be Uganda. Remember, when I get quiet, you see me reach over and look. I'm looking for another track. But yeah, Uganda. They say because Lake Victoria, they say there's something in that lake that makes all the women in that region have this ridiculous, oversized, but still look good proportion on the body, but still ridiculous, humongous, oversized asses. Something in that lake Victoria in Uganda. And one of the chicks I had over my Airbnb, and she did a show with me, Paulina, she was telling me there's a city in Kenya. I forget the name of it now. It escapes me. I think it starts with a K. There's a city in Kenya that had a part of that lake. So that lake that was in Uganda, Lake Victoria, the lake feeds off into the neighboring country. And a part of that lake It's in Kenya. And sure enough, every woman in that area around that part of the lake has oversized asses. I said, no. I said, this is like something out of science fiction movie. She said, that's true. I said, you about to make me go now. So, yeah, Uganda. But that being said, Africa, bro. Because where I was at, Kenya, Nairobi. In Nairobi, Kenya, every chick had ass. Like ass. I'm not. Every chick had ass. Crazy shit ever. So it was kind of like, you say women have more than this? This is already a lot. This is more than normal. This is not normal. This is already a lot. And women have more than this? I said, yeah. I said, wow. So this is overload, bro. But technically on paper, they would say Uganda. But off paper, all over, bro. They say South Africa, women got big asses too. And tend to be prettier, right? You know, so I don't want to be that. I don't want to do that one. I don't want to be that guy. You know, to do our own people like that, right? Because you're black, because you're dark skinned, because you're black. Your hair might not be long, short hair, whatever, this and that. Facial features or this and that, tribal facial features or whatever, phenotype. I don't want to be that guy. But they say in South Africa, the women are pretty and thick, not just thick. So, wow. Yeah, it's a vibe, man. It's a whole vibe. You got to go, man. You got to go. Got to go. You know, stop going to the same fucking place over and over. Going the same fucking place over and over and over and over. I get it because I did it. Thailand 6 times. And it will be a 7 and an 8, 9, and 10. It will be eventually, but kind of spaced out, right? Kind of spaced out, not back to back. Hopefully by the next time I go to Thailand for time number 7, I'll also have went some other places too. Intersperse, right? Intersperse. You don't got to go to the same place 15 times back to back. I get it. You like it. But if you're a traveler, spread it around. Stop going to the same place, man. Oh, man. Boss, whenever I run into you, I'm buying you a drink, sir. Right on, man. I appreciate it, man. That turned out a whole lot better than what some guys say, which almost never happened. Man, when I run into you, when I pull up, yeah, right. And then when we pull up, they don't have that energy. But this is good energy. I like that. I like this. This ain't that other kind of pull up. Man, when I see you in real life, when I see you outside, when I pull up, well, okay, well, I am 6'2", 270 pounds. I don't know how it look. I don't know how it look on the camera. I don't know how it looks on the camera, but I'm 6'2", 270 pounds. So, yeah. Tall and wide. And I run up on you in real life. Oh, man. Them do the jokes. I was just trolling. Whatever, bro. But yeah, this is good though. Shout out to you. All right, I hold you to it, man. I hold you to it. Shout out to the Renaissance man, looking like E40. You look straight like E40 in that profile pic, man. Their diet, their food diet is storage fat, so-called right places. Yeah. Their food is different. You know, natural food. I'm sure there's a lot of other factors. There's something definitely in the genome. It's in the genome, something in the water, something in the air. Maybe they all got bit by the same mosquito. I don't know. But it's nothing but ass, and more ass in Africa. You got to go. And I'm definitely going back. Yep. Somebody know his stuff. That being said, man, I'm about to land this plane. Thank you guys for rocking out with Bossy Boss-0-Leeny. Cooking with what? Gas-0-Leeny Fire Content, man. Till next time. Rock with the boss. Follow the bouncing ball. And yes, eventually I'm going to put out some of this Kenyan content that I got. Believe it or not, I took content. I was reporting, right? Now, behind me, sitting down, editing it, putting it out, that's another thing. But I got hours of content from Nairobi that I will be putting out in the near future. Oh, man. Thank you, Nat Diamond. Very happy Christmas to the boss. And boss says Merry Christmas to the chat. W's in the chat. I learned that from Kai Sanat. Shout out to Kai Sanat and I Show Speed, all them youngsters, man. They doing it. They doing it big. Okay, Cuba, huh? I think you would like Cuba. I heard about it. We're gonna see. Believe it or not, that's on the list. That's on that list. Because I think I would do Cuba again, experience type shit though, right? Sometimes some things gotta have a reason, it gotta have a story behind it. I would do Cuba way before I do a Costa Rica or a Panama, right? I can absolutely see it. I can absolutely see a Cuba in my future. But we're gonna see, man. We're gonna see. Other than that, Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. Oh man, the boss, renegade. Y'all know the vibes. Peace.